Dalam BuzzPop hari ini, kita bakal membedah dan membincangkan musim pertama Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Jadi para panelis kita malam ini terdiri daripada saya, Nadzru daripada BuzzPop TV. Seterusnya Kaki Kaiju kita Munif Malek. What's up bro, how you doing man?
I'm doing great. I'm in a good mood today. So hari ni happy punya sesi.
Yes. I think this show was made for you bro. Dan seterusnya adalah kaki K-drama kita Jamal Raslan. Silakan.
Betul tak? I spent 5 minutes. Aku dah tak nama apa. So, betul aku lambat. Because I knew Munif is going to have that Dronosaur, is going to have the kaki monster, kaki Kaiju shit. I need to match that shit. So, macam lah. Lepas tu I went
join the club.
Jaras Todon tak boleh sebab Munif kata Todon bukan dinosaur. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Lepas tu macam aku nak kena ada raksasa. Lepas tu macam yeah, I found it.
Nama sendiri.
Nama sendiri. Jamal Rasaksalan. Betul. Sorry man. Anyway.
It works.
Yes, I am good.
Alright guys. Right. Jika korang menonton kita orang sekarang live melalui Facebook live, melalui YouTube live dan juga kini Instagram live. So yes, kalau korang ada komen daripada Instagram, dia tak masuk dekat StreamYard ni, tapi aku akan cuba jawab antara soalan-soalan para panelis kita. So jom kita mulakan perbincangan kita malam ini dengan reaksi satu ayat. Alright, so personally, this was surprising. I think this ended up becoming one of my favourite shows untuk tahun 2023. Dah lah keluar daripada Apple TV tah macam mana, iklan pun tak banyak, tiba-tiba ada show Monsterverse keluar dekat Apple TV. But yeah, I really enjoyed it and aku rasa this is one of the best shows of 2023. Apakah reaksi satu ayat korang untuk Monarch, Legacy of Monsters? Silakan Munif.
Kalau aku punya reaksi satu ayat, it's this statement. No. This is what a TV tie-in for a cinematic universe should do. Not only kau memang best on your own 2 feet, but you also actually, aku akan ulas later lah, cover up and betulkan banyak gila plot hole from the cinematic universe, and you make banyak gila incident yang jadi dalam cinematic universe tu lagi bermakna because of this series, while adding your own thing and layers upon layers of that to the world. Macam perfect world building. So what more can I say? This is how you do it.
Seterusnya silakan Jamal, reaksi satu ayat kau.
I want more. Okay, sekian. I liked it because pada aku, a lot of the failures for big monster movies is finding the balance between a quote-unquote main character that is not the monster but the human as the person, as the medium to tell the story. Because of course the subject matter or the topic or the focus is the monster, tapi yang push the plot semua tu kenalah manusia, right? So a lot of these kind of shows, there is a lot of hit and miss. Transformers hit and miss, the old Godzillas yang Hank Azaria berlakon tu, it looked great for its time, but it's a bit of hit and miss. So bila cerita-cerita ada betul-betul macam ni, macam Jurassic Park dan cerita-cerita dinosaur, they ultimately failed to find that balance. So I feel that this particular series was the creators of the Monsterverse, the showrunners of the Monsterverse, after taking their time through successes and fails, because pada aku Godzilla vs Kong tu macam agak gagal dari segi penceritaan, not as the premise, but just as a screenplay, right? But that failure plus all the other successes plus knowing that they have legendary published comics and all that, they eventually everybody agreed on the story that they want to tell. The moment they came together and they kata, okay, story ni macam ni, filem ni macam ni, and then we needed okay, animated series kita nak belanja orang, kita nak TV series as the TV cinematic universe tie-in and tied over to the next film. So the moment they figure that out, then it's exactly what Munif said. This is how you do a TV tie-in, where you don't now, for your next couple of films, you don't have to spend a lot of camera time or screen time on your human characters because you've done that here. And now the film can be that big cinematic monster epic, while at the same time, whenever the humans that has had the 8 hours over here in the series, when they get their screen time there, there are the weight, there are the stakes, and that's it. So they figured it out across God knows how many movies, and I'm like happy for it because I personally loved Kong Skull Island. Kong Skull Island. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm so happy for it. I really am. And then at that point in time, I had trepidation lah bila dia kata, oh, kita mungkin ada tie-in dengan Pacific Rim. Now, fucking bring it on, bro! Give me level 6 Kaiju versus Godzilla and Kong with the gauntlet, man. Yeah, bro! Yes.
Yeah. My only fear adalah selepas siri Monarch ni, diorang tak follow through and then kita tak dapat tengok Kentaro, Cate, May dan juga Keiko in the next film. Because I think they're introducing new characters. Kau ada Mamat daripada BBC berlakon sebagai one of the new hunters, and then awet daripada Vicky Cristina Barcelona sebagai one of the new scientists. So aku macam, what the hell? It's like kau dah build up Monarch ni best gila. We have to see Apex dalam GXK. We have to see at least Keiko, Randa in GXK. Tapi
my speculation will be that we definitely will see Apex because we saw the gauntlet. I don't quite like the gauntlet. I just like the idea of a kid wearing a gauntlet. So, but I don't like how the gauntlet looks like. Regardless, aku suka. I'm looking. If the film is nice and we just have like an epilogue or a teaser or a what do you call that? Easter egg of Keiko and all at the end of that film, and the film is great enough, then macam yay, which means we gonna get another season or we gonna get another film where they finally make the cinematic appearance. That's just more films, man. Yeah,
definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah, things are looking great for the Monsterverse, especially kita baru lepas, Godzilla -1 is doing so well across the world, dah sampai 100 juta. Tak tahu bila nak masuk Malaysia. Kita akan discuss tu nanti at the end of this top 3 topics. Pasti kita akan ada Q&A dengan soalan-soalan live stream korang. Yes, seterusnya kita akan sekarang membincangkan 3 plot menarik daripada musim pertama Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Dalam segmen pertama ni, kita bakal membincangkan tentang trio pengasas Monarch yang asal, the OG Monarch, iaitu Bill Randa, Keiko Miura dan juga Lee Shaw. So, untuk segmen ni aku ada 3 soalan. Soalan pertama adalah untuk Munif. Apakah pendapat anda tentang trio asal yang mengasaskan Monarch, terutamanya that sizzling chemistry dan juga love triangle di antara Lee Shaw, Bill Randa serta Keiko Miura? Silakan.
So, honestly, this trio is the best part of the show lah. Pada pendapat aku.
Audio kau ada masalah, bro. It's little bit. Dia ada feedback. Dia ada feedback.
Sekarang ada feedback.
Aku rasa cuba kau cabutkan, lepas tu bersama balik.
Dah?
Testing. Okay, clear.
Okay,
clear.
Okay, ya.
Okay.
Okay, as I was saying, this trio bagi aku is the best part of the show, is the heart and soul of the show lah. So bila diorang tengah interacting, bila diorang tengah doing things, going on trip, monster hunting, lari pada monsters and so on, kau rasa macam wah, this is like a big macam adventure epic yang shock gila. Kau nak follow, nak tengok apa jadi pasal kisah diorang kan. Macam you can imagine the trio pergi monster hunting could be its own macam movie in the cinemas tau. one of the movies for the Monsterverse punya series. Kau dia macam tunjuk pasal 3 orang ni je kan. Macam tiba-tiba lepas dah habis New Empire tu tunjuk Monarch the prequel ke apa, this is the movie tau. Dia punya vibe tu macam tu lah. Lepas tu it's really helped by the fact that dia orang pun they are good actors. Tiga-tiga ni memang they carried their roles really well. You have the really awkward nerd, you have the really stoic macam confident lady boss, and then you have the big idiot like what army guy tapi kinda has a heart of gold trying to fit into the whole thing. Lepas tu then kau throw in this very real punya emotional entanglement between them kan. So dia memang pelik lah. Bagi aku memang pelik. Sebab apa? I never imagine yang aku akan give a shit about a love triangle in a Monsterverse punya outing. Kalau aku bayangkan kalau aku tak tengok lagi Monarch and tiba-tiba ada orang cerita pasal Monarch, dalam ni ada love triangle tau. Macam okay, so I'm not watching this. Tapi somehow sebab dia buat kau care for this character. Sebab karakter ni memang best. And dia bukan ada just because. Sebab dia pun tied into the origin of Monarch, which is penting to the Kaijus and the premise. So dia pandai lah disusun bagi kau give a damn pasal these characters. And then bila these characters tengah melalui this emotional things kan, kau memang, bagi aku lah, at least aku terkesan lah bila aku tengok. Aku kesian dengan Lee Shaw. Dia tengok dia jauh, bila Randa dengan Keiko tengah having fun apa semua. Lepas tu dia jealous tapi dia kena professional. Lepas tu tiba-tiba tengok ada time macam yang dekat ballroom dancing tu nampak macam Keiko sebenarnya ada give him a chance. So adakah sebenarnya dia dengan Bill Randa tu just macam rapat sebab mutual hobby, tapi dari sudut siapa fancy siapa, maybe dia lagi suka aku, macam this takes you back to zaman-zaman high school, zaman-zaman university. Come on, you've gone through that shit. We've all gone through that shit. Zaman-zaman bercinta cintun ni kan. So you've been through macam, tak tahu, kalau aku ingat balik that feeling when someone yang kau suka tu dia macam respon kat kau, suka kau balik, how happy you are. Or at least kau rasa lah dia suka kau balik, kau happy. And then the pain kau rasa bila tengok, aku suka gila dia ni, kenapa dia having fun with this other dude kan, cakap dengan this other dude kan. Lepas tu kau rasa macam nak merajuk, kau stress. So suddenly it became very real. And aku tak sangka, mula-mula aku macam this is alright sebab aku suka the actors, aku suka dia punya performance, and watak-watak ni pun memang penting terhadap Monarch. So I accept there's a love triangle di dalam Monsterverse punya outing. Tapi little did I know, ialah bila kita masing-masing korang pun dah tengok finale dia kan, little did you know pasal all this emotional heartstrings ialah bila benda-benda jadi kat Skull Island, benda-benda jadi kat Axis Mandai tu, kat Axis Mandi tu. So kau macam they were setting this up, damn sakit, damn bittersweet, damn I love this character. So and they sempat do this while still delivering on the sci-fi world building and the monsters. So kau macam tengah show dia ada 3 kali the runtime of Monarch ni pun tak tentu boleh pull off this kind of balancing act yang dia orang buat between the human characters, sci-fi and the kaijus. So it's just so well done lah. Dia kalau nak dipendekkan cerita, bayangkan aku orang yang gila kaiju, accept and in fact terhibur dan suka ada love triangle dalam a monster series. I would never say this about any other series. Tak akan jadi lagi sekali dan tak pernah jadi. They did it.
Betul. Because selalunya kalau kau tengok cerita kaiju, kau benci manusia tu. Kau macam mana screen time kacau lah. Aku nak tengok kaiju bergaduh je kan. But they made you care for the human characters.
Ni tak, aku nak tahu satu lagi statement. Kau bayangkan yang ni aku ada sembang dengan Nick lah sebelum ni. Macam kau dah ada berapa 4-5 movies dalam Monsterverse punya series kan. And then sepanjang 4-5 movies tu, yang movie yang orang suka, yang orang tak suka, tak kisah, komen dia sama je. Aku tak nak tengok manusia. Aku nak tengok kaiju. And yet, the guys behind Monsterverse, dia cakap, challenge accepted. Aku akan buat series mainly pasal manusia, kaiju sikit, and you know what? They're gonna have a love triangle and shit, and you will like it. Shut up. So macam, wah, you were right. You were right. You had the balls, you said challenge accepted, and you knocked it out of the park. Oh, aku just tak boleh kata anything else selain macam, you got me. You got me.
Yeah, man. Definitely. And untuk mereka yang tidak arif, basically siri Monarch Legacy of Monsters ni telah ditulis oleh Matt Fraction. Matt Fraction merupakan seorang penulis komik sebelum ni. Dia bekerja dengan Marvel Comics dah bertahun-tahun, and he was responsible for rebooting Hawkeye jadi cool, jadi macam filem noir macam tu. Also pasal dia lah kalau kita dapat watak seperti Kate Bishop, iaitu Hawkeye 2.0, dan juga Lucky the Pizza Dog. So Matt Fraction ni dia memang pandai make things cool again. Even I think he wrote Fantastic Four for a while. So that's why yes, Monarch ni, especially the trio utama ni, memang ada vibes macam Fantastic Four juga. So awesome lah, Mamat Matt Fraction ni berjaya daripada menulis komik dia melompat pada menulis TV sekarang. So good on you, man. Good on you. Alright, seterusnya soalan adalah untuk Jamal. Apakah pendapat anda tentang Lee Shaw mengalah kepada Bill Randa akhirnya, semata-mata pasal maybe dia tak nak jadi Pak Sanggup dan terpaksa membesarkan Hiroshi Randa. So what do you think? Yang the fact that Bill Randa akhirnya kahwin dengan Keiko Randa, was that more obligation and duty daripada true love? Apa pendapat kau? Silakan Jamal.
Aku tak tahu. Like for me, I felt that macam mana? I feel that Lee Shaw punya karakter adalah seorang karakter that did not understand growth, did not know or realize what he wanted to do at that point in time. He just did whatever his commander told him to do. Jadi bila dia jumpa Keiko, Keiko was wondrous in many sense. Like, this is a foreign woman speaking English, very smart, trusted by the army. So that is already very hard to do. Like, you are a foreign woman, that's like dah difficulty dah high dah. But foreign woman speaking English and then finding a place, dah susah dah dalam American society at that pre-war or that war punya time. But what happened was that she was able to do all that in the army while researching really, really specific stuff. Meaning in her field that was not even considered a field yet because nobody really knows about it, only a bunch of people kan. So she is one of the most prominent person at that point in time, even though orang-orang di lapangan dia saja yang kenal. So when he met her, it's like he realized that his character may have realized that, okay, aku kena elevate diri aku. So if you notice how apprehensive he was in terms of his interactions with her, not apprehensive in the sense that macam dia tak sure, but apprehensive in the sense that like, okay, I can't quite make you out, you know, like on one hand, physically you are already attractive enough, and then the fact that you're intelligent, smart, and then you do not have an adverse reaction or very defensive when, you know, I in my American chauvinistic male punya ignorance macam refers to you as like, oh, you macam ni, you macam ni, you macam ni, you know, going all the female punya stereotypes. So bila dia tengok benda tu, dia rasa macam wow. And then he had a thought yang macam, okay, you're not like, you ni buat kerja gila lah, tapi tak apalah, you know, the army seems to believe in you, so I will just, you know, do my job as an army man lah. And then he saw the first proof of, or the first truths that Keiko was researching on, and then he started changing because he realized from this woman the world is bigger than what he thought he knew, right? So as he was trying to get into get a hold on all these things, Randa punya character comes over. So Randa punya character comes over and he goes like, okay, you're the nerd, right? You're the nerd. But then again, he realizes that he wants some kind of connection with Keiko that he sees between Keiko and Randa, even though at that point in time it wasn't even platonic. If you want to speculate, it was just two professionals respecting each other, and then knowing that their field is small, having that bond over their professional punya capacity, and then of course spending time over these sharing dangerous moments together. Diorang macam, you know what, they get along, and he kind of wants that, right? Because that's when he started to realize, okay, what do I want for myself as a character? And this is where you see him struggle through this between episodes 3 to 7. So I only realized this after finishing the series. Bila dia lawan commander dia punya instructions, that is him deciding for himself. Otherwise, in his previous roles, without Keiko, the decision would have been made for him. Aku ambil kau, aku letak kau dalam position ni, I know you can do the job, and I know kau akan jadi patut. So, that you get that kind of a character building thing. So, the cool thing about the way they did it is that because dia bagi tahu cerita ni over two very different ages tau. Meaning him now, after Kate semua jumpa dia bawa dia lari, and he's been hiding that, and they write it well enough to make him look like macam you have something up your sleeve. You didn't really tell us everything about your character. So macam, but when we go on the flashbacks, you go like, okay, nampak lah macam kau slowly really, firstly you pandered to Keiko, and then you layan Bill because you're pandering to Keiko, and then you started realizing, okay, benda yang dia buat ni penting, and then you ada investment in it. Because these are two really passionate professionals. And then bila dia pergi dekat tasik yang dekat Jepun tu, and then he realize, oh shit, benda ni memang, okay, this shit is real. So the end, you see that in his younger self. Bila you tengok dia punya older self, dia jadi macam ada something up his sleeve. And then you were trying to wait for that arc to converge tau. For them to finish telling about him at his younger days, and then him at his older day punya endpoint converging. And then when we finally got that in the last 2 episodes, kita macam, man, you really eventually was able to overcome yourself, find your feet, decide who you wanted to be, fought your commander, lawan cakap dia, help these two people at the at your own punya detriment. Lepas tu you let them do their thing, and then they proceeded and set up Monarch, and then pada you, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. So it's a really nice way to tell that story. Di mana when you look back again, Randa and Keiko was just in some ways they're just chickens running around. So kalau Lisho tak ada, you are not going to get Monarch.
Ya, betul. Dia yang bawa in the military.
Exactly.
Dia yang bawa
Randa
in the funding.
Kind of been the heart and the mind, the brains and the spirit of Monarch, no dispute. But that wouldn't have come together if Lisho did not macam, you know what, I'm not gonna let my boss, who absolutely has no idea what they're doing, outside of just reading reports, I'm not gonna let them kacau dua orang ni punya passion. And kalau kau tengok, the best part is that it's not because they love gila babi Keiko tu. Not quite. He just decided to, okay, I've learned that these things mean a lot to these people, and this is like bigger than everybody else. So, and you see that because you realize that because at the end, when he told Keiko, it's okay Keiko, you can let go. That was not for Keiko. That was like, yeah. And that's why dia tak boleh tidur malam. Dia tak habis because it could be a bit out of guilt, definitely a bit out of love and loyalty, but it's more about, I need to do this right. So he did it right once. And then Keiko and Bill kena. And then Keiko hilang kat bawah tu. So I need to do this right again. And he did it at his expense. So I felt that was like, wow, a great vision, because they had the father play the older version and the son play the younger version. And like, man, so it's pretty cool lah. That's what I feel about his thing. So pada aku dia tak jadi Pak Sanggup. It's just because of his characterization. Bill Randa dengan Keiko, at the ending of the series, aku rasa I don't care why Bill Randa ended up with Keiko, because it didn't matter to me, faham tak? And I felt that they did it right in that sense, because maybe it was a marriage of convenience macam kau cakap ke apa benda ke, but it didn't really matter.
It was a green card deal, bro. Green card.
Yeah. And I think Bill knows that. So and maybe mungkin Lee was not available at that point in time, and if they ended up together, it would be very very detrimental lah. Sebab orang kata, oh patutlah Lee kau perangai macam ni, kau nak kahwin dengan Keiko, and then Keiko macam, so can we trust all your professional punya discoveries and conclusions and hypotheses, because you know you had something going on with Lee, how do we know that you're not, you know, taking half the time, you know, spending it with Lee and stuff like that. So macam, and Keiko was very objective. So this is how you do representation. This is how you write a strong woman character. And the best part is that kalau kita nak complain, cucu dia, kau ni macam, you know, boring ah.
Kate memang
Maybe
annoying
it's
tu.
not our liking.
Kate memang annoying gila.
No, but for me, when your family is that broken, and the first domino that fell was your mother, the legendary Keiko, getting lost, you will grow up to be that girl yang macam, I need to be strong, but I don't know who I'm strong for, and then you jadi insecure, bukan insecure, you jadi macam dia lah. So it's very good to have it that way, because at the end of the series you resolve benda tu. Now this is how you do representation. You have someone who is naturally strong, and then coming through an age where women were stepped on, and someone who is strong on the outside in an age where strong women are celebrated for representation, but you're not really that strong. But their two stories are tied in together. This is how you do it, right? Because now Kate will have the opportunity to have her arc, right? So this is how my Nenek was, right? So I like the way they did that, because Kate's character is real. There are a lot of people who are like that. You might not spend a lot of time around them, so you're not familiar. So you tengok daripada jauh macam, I'm not going to be friends with her. But I know enough people who have certain characteristics of Kate. And outside of whatever their trauma ke, whatever it is, these are very real people. So I like the fact that they were able to capture that. They're annoying lah. Tak boleh buat macam mana lah. Because these people, you know, nobody's perfect. They are. So I think this is where Monarch, this series got it right. They were able to like, okay, where we are telling the stories about the humans, yeah, we give you a human story. Tapi don't worry, we are not forgetting the monsters. So it's pretty cool. Because now we don't need it anymore. And they did it in the best possible way. Sebab kita macam, oh, Monarch, and then they're trying to juggle Monarch in the first two films kan. Kita macam, alright. So this is it, we got it. Awesome gila.
Aku paling sedih bila Lee Shaw lost 20 years of his life because he went to exhibit MUNDI, and then he came back, Hiroshi dah besar sia. Aku macam, oh, baba tu sedih sia.
The thing that I liked about that happening was the fact that you notice Shaw punya character arc dah habis, in the sense where dia punya muda punya character arc, he has become his own man. He depended on nobody to figure out and understand and process the trauma for himself, and he moved one step further by saying, okay, aku dah faham benda ni dah jadi kat aku, okay, so now what do I do to make things right, because that is the only reason why I cannot sleep. So I like that fact. It's the fact that macam, okay, bila budak-budak ni datang, I think this might just be my opening. This might be my opportunity to set things right. So he went about and did it. So it's pretty cool. And dia tak, of course he was not underhanded. Dia sorok-sorok sikit lah, sebab macam, kan kalau kau explain benda-benda banyak kan jadi masalah pula kan. So macam, you know what, these kids are pun tengah emo, so macam tak apa. So it's pretty cool lah. You give him that. Dia nampak, bukanlah kata dia strong gila babi pun, tapi nampak dia ada agency over his own over his own personality and whatever he's going through. It's pretty cool.
Definitely. Alright. So dengan itu kita ke soalan terakhir untuk segmen ini untuk kedua-dua panelis. Apakah pendapat korang tentang finale Monarch di mana Lee Shaw dan Keiko Miura sekadar membuat a castling move. Seorang dari bumi pergi ke aksis MUNDI, and then seorang dari aksis MUNDI pergi ke bumi. Macam Ahsoka finale dia, macam what the fuck. So silakan Munif, apa pendapat kau tentang castling move ni?
Aku rasa memang it was bittersweet, but not a forceful bittersweet ke apa ke. It was somewhat an expected scenario, an expected bittersweet moment, but it was also what's right for the conclusion of the stories, at least for season 1 ni lah. Sebab kalau kau tengok on the part of Shaw lah, as the one who got left behind kan, this was the best outcome for him sebenarnya. So kalau kau tengok, he actually got what he wanted. Macam Jamal cakap lah, this way all this while is about regret and then thinking about redemption that is probably not possible lah. Tapi bila finally dengan budak-budak ni datang ke dia, and then the revelation by what Monarch tahu sekarang the detection of those gamma ray bursts yang they were detecting around the world and all, then he puts the two and two together. Wait, it's a long shot, but probably has one more shot at redemption now. So that's why he at the risk of, even there was a point in the series aku tengok, Sat, Shaw ni dah jadi gila, jadi jahat. Kenapa macam dia sangat, macam Jamal cakap, underhanded lah, and kadang-kadang dia buat benda pun macam agak questionable apa semua. So that actually goes to show how desperate he was for his redemption arc, or to claim his own redemption. So bila last kali bila dia dapat, buat tu lah, that macam kau cakap, that castling dengan Keiko kan, that's literally all he wanted. Sebab kalau aku fikir macam, if there are those who disagree with this narrative lah, then you have to ask, if not this, then what? So they go back together to the surface world. Keiko, aku rasa never really loved him, not in the way that he probably want. And then the whole gila babi age difference is not gonna help things. And then dengan anak dia yang, as far as he cares, korang dua dah abandon aku, tiba korang dua ada balik, umur pun lain, and are you gonna get together? That's weird. What's gonna happen for semua ni? So it's and Lee's basically wanted man now sekarang by the authorities and the shadowy secret organizations. So it's just suffering. If he comes back, it's just suffering. He's not gonna get Keiko. He's gonna see Keiko move on with her life. It's definitely, kalau kau cakap say natural causes, gonna die way earlier than her. Anyways, she's probably gonna build her life with someone new. Tak tahu lah kan how she adjusts into the present world. And then he'll probably just get shoved back into the old folks' home again. So, all that, all that infinite time of bullshit though, he trade that all for, a shortened lifespan. But aku dapat kambus balik my decades old regret. And this time, berjaya to get her out instead of so reach and then terlepas and then hilang for decades. So you get to turn back that suffering in one moment instead of living in a long life of in that old folks home, seeing the world pass you by and the one you love macam no way kau boleh dapat dia balik kan. So yeah, he got what he wanted. Make no mistake, walaupun dia macam sedih kan, but he got what he wanted. And it's also a good turnover. Again, castling kena berkaitan dengan dua pihak kan. So Keiko, but it's good that she went out into the world, because it's quite sad, because the most inquisitive mind, the most curious mind in the show is the one who missed out on like decades of real life experience. Dia tak tahu pun orang dah pergi to the moon and everything, and someone as curious as her kan. So what an injustice that is. So if anything, it's so good that dia dapat pergi balik to the surface world. Dia dapat catch up all this. I can imagine she'll just be like a kid in a candy store. Tengok all this technological advancement, tengok everything they know about the kaiju dalam dunia sekarang, and even from a more standpoint of dia punya soul tu pula, dia can reconnect dengan dia punya family, past and future. In fact, dia cucu dengan anak dia pun semua kan. So and macam Kate cakap juga lah, the fact that Keiko dapat pergi balik to the surface world is also important because they want to break that Randa curse. Dia kata no more tragedies, no more tak tahu aku punya bapa, aku punya bapa pergi mana hilang. Kalau kau fikir balik, Hiroshi tu lagi kesian. I don't know who my ori father is. I've definitely lost a mother, and I for some reason have lost two fathers. And original father pun tak tahu siapa. Macam what the F is this? And kau ingat aku akan grow up to be a normal functioning dad? Memang tak. So at least with Keiko coming back, in a way, they broke the cycle. No more tragedies, no more bullshit, no more broken families. We're together now, let's work something out. So yeah, they were castling that place swap, but in the end, both perfectly got what they wanted. Both are where they are supposed to be. And it's also bagi aku interesting moving forward if Keiko is gonna have more roles in the Monsterverse punya movies ke apa kan, is that imagine what knowledge she will bring back from the Axis Mundi tu towards the guys at Apex. So you never know if her knowledge tu sebenarnya might be instrumental in the creation of the Mechagodzilla, or why they were so convinced in the Godzilla vs Kong movie, they were so convinced they needed the Hollow Earth radiation tu untuk power the Mechagodzilla. So you never know. So macam, yeah, it's a castling move, but one that was perfectly executed. Because even in a game of chess, castling is a badass strategy.
Yeah, surprise man, surprise. Alright, seterusnya Jamal, apakah is there anything you want to add tentang this castling between Keiko dan Lee?
For me, I think with regards to Lee switching over his place out of doing the right thing and all that, I could have mentioned. For Keiko's side, I think it will be very interesting. Sebab, how do I say this? She is set up to be a strong character. Nothing to do with gender. She is set up to be a strong character. Her introduction was that strong woman coming out from an age where strong women were not expected, especially in her way, the foreign and all that, and in this kind of field. And then dia hilang, right? So bila dia hilang tu, and then she went to Axis Mundi, where there was no one else but her. So she needed to be strong in a completely different way, right? Not just physically, but mentally, in a sense where you are alone, you are trying to survive against things that you studied but not expecting it to be studying it in this particular predicament. Faham tak? You got sucked into it, or rather you fell into it, and then you cannot go out, and then you have absolutely no tools, no ideas, meaning you don't get to study it on your terms, right? For all I know, the thing is studying you. So, and she survived, right? And she survived, and she remained pretty much the same. And then she comes out. Now you will start to see her character being faced with the tipping point ataupun the breaking point. Bila aku nak break? I started with realizing this Kate woman is my granddaughter. Dia takkan ada affection, dia tak ada connection, because the implication adalah anak aku kahwin dan anakku ada anak. But for her, the only love that she knew at that point in time when she left was the son, because that represented the sacrifices that she made, the challenges that she had to go through, right? So now she wouldn't know how to celebrate seeing Kate, because she couldn't even entertain the idea that her son dah besar, dah ada anak dan sebagainya. So when she comes back and she meets the son, and then the son macam speak Jepun dengan dia macam, okay, now I have to deal with this, right? That emotion of yang dia pen up, yang dia simpan, thinking for God knows how many days and years it was for her down there, that she was never going to meet her son. Dia jumpa balik. Now dia kena face benda tu. So now you start to see, now we might be able to see her breaking point lah, where okay, emotionally you are strong at that time. Now is a completely different time. So itu satu. But coming out, then she has to also learn about the impact of her work with Bill Randa, and then macam, oh shit, this has grown into Monarch. Godzilla has come. The world now knows Godzilla. They understand Kaiju, and there's this Ghidorah and whatever incidents. What the hell? What has happened since then? But every time she faces that, she has to remember Lee is gone, right? And she hasn't processed that. And then on top of that, dia punya professional capacity akan kick in and go like, okay, what is Apex? What is Monarch? How are we treating Godzilla now? So you have these three very interesting angles yang semua ada weight yang sangat besar coming at her immediately at the same time, in a way where even though she has family now, right? Family dia makin membesar, she will probably feel the most alone because she has the least connection to all of them. Bill's gone. She could not probably even grieve over that if she loved him enough. Lee is gone, she doesn't have time to grieve about that because she wasn't expecting to grieve about it somehow. So now dia kena handle semua benda ni. So now we come to a point where bila say 2 films from now, do we want to see Keiko? And that is a pretty cool thing to be asking for, speculating lah, for a Monsterverse film, right? Macam, oh aku nak tengok Godzilla lagi, oh aku nak tengok ni lagi, but macam, shit, I want to see what Keiko does, right? And I hope they don't go down the road of dia tiba-tiba macam, dia kenal baik dengan Apex and then macam tiba-tiba ada 18 billion and then dia buat Monarch Mark 2. Itu tak nak lah. Dia macam, bro, just make a cartoon. Don't waste our time with films. Don't even do a series. Just do a comic. But you don't know. But then that prospect is enticing. So I feel that this is the great thing about that, because watching Monarch Season 1, everybody has their own opinions, but everybody will share their opinion that, hey, we want more of Keiko. We want more of Keiko up front, taking the lead, being the spine, being the backbone and whatever not, you know, from a moral perspective, from an ethical perspective, from a professional perspective. So we might just be getting that because that's the setup. And that is great, right? That is great. So this is how you do it. Aku rasa macam this is what we are getting. Hopefully they don't mess it up. And you know what? Even if they do, if we can see they're trying to do the right thing, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. But yalah, you know, we all love the GVK, we all love Ghidorah, and then we all love Ghidorah, and then tengok GVK kita macam, weh apa benda fast train pergi Hong Kong, lepas tu budak kecil 4 ekor boleh masuk, man, you know. Aduh.
Betul tu. I really hated the humans dalam GVK ya. And I foresee I will hate the humans dalam GXK juga. Dan Stevens dengan pelakon Vicky Cristina Barcelona tu, because tak ada Keiko Miura, tak ada Kate Randa, tak ada May, tak ada. Aku macam they are not on the cast list. So aku macam fuck.
Aku less pessimistic than you. Cuma I get your pessimism, and because if you go to the Monsterverse punya Wikipedia page, while this feels like a great team of creators and showrunners and artists and fans and whatever not, it doesn't feel like an MCU in phase 1, 2, 3 though. And we have proof, right? This film was like that. Skull Island, the animated series, was a great watch. Macam, okay, it was not even touching any of this. It's just a Skull Island animated series. So macam, it still feels not disjointed, but disparate. It doesn't feel really coherent, everybody singing from the same hymn sheet, even though we enjoy what they are giving us. So that might just be the thing that is going to work against them lah. But if we get a decent film, I'm not even expecting a great one, I'm just expecting a decent film. You know what, I'm going to be excited, and that's all I want.
I think after Monarch punya kejayaan they should put Matt Fraction as like the head writer for the whole of Monsterverse. Ataupun macam just planner. Oh, yang ni apa jadi, yang ni apa jadi, yang ni kat sini.
Tak boleh lah kalau kau tengok the history of the Monsterverse coming together, dia boleh jadi exec producer, but he cannot be the showrunner because there are people ahead of him, and him writing Monarch ni is a consequence of that. So no matter how successful Monarch this series is, he cannot do that yet. Maybe after a couple of films probably baru dia boleh buat. It's a bit too soon.
I think that's the problem yang kau rasa yang Monsterverse ni tak serasi sangat because it's director driven. It's not It's not creator ataupun writer driven.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like it.
Yeah. So balik-balik
and Fraction dalam ni pun dia producer dan dia tak direct. So
tak ada. It's just director driven. So you keep having the same directors, Adam apa Kebuto tu. It's like these are cheap music video directors ataupun advertising directors sekarang coming into the Monsterverse, but dia jadi macam Zack Snyder and DCEU lah. When you have director driven shit, they akan feel very disparate and tak bersambung lah. David Ayer buat hal dia sendiri, Zack Snyder buat hal dia sendiri. You know, we've seen it with the DCEU. So I think after this, hopefully Monsterverse alaf baru ataupun Monsterverse phase 2 will be writer driven and then driven by a head writer ataupun showrunner macam Matt Fraction, because I think it's proven himself.
Tapi aku nak tambah something before that kan. Walaupun betul you boleh nampak the tonal disparity between different movies in the Monsterverse kan. Sebab dia bukanlah macam Marvel, you have a 5G figure. You have a 5G figure yang connectkan all the movies. But what they're doing with the Monsterverse could be a different way of approaching a cinematic universe. Pasal apa? Sebab, okay, you have these different movies which, like you said, is director driven apa semua kan. Tapi bagi aku, when aku tengok Monarch, what happens that it feels that Monarch then took liberties to bind these shows together tau, to make them coherent and in the same world. So dia macam it's like a reverse punya, instead of the movies so kadang-kadang compromise in quality to be forcefully coherent and connected to each other. Each movie orang buat je, okay, there's probably a base guideline, but go crazy with your visions whatever within that guidelines, and then keluar Monarch to gel everything together nicely in between, and then moving forward, even if they take the same method, then you'll have Monarch season 2 to kind of gel whatever new stuff they put in between. And those new movies can build on what Monarch season 1 has set up. So in a funny way, yeah, it could be a different approach, lain pada Marvel lah, kau nak compare to making a cinematic universe, but at least at the point of kita tengok Monarch ni, it works. So sebab seriously, bagi aku, after watching the series, it does in fact answer and fixes some plot points. It improves the experience of, you know, all of these movies, and actually made us care for some things. Macam there was just passing moments macam in the show tau, tapi lepas tengok Monarch, they actually become impactful. Seriously, kalau kau tengok macam Skull Island, macam Jamal suka Skull Island kan, kalau kau tengok macam Bill Randa tu kena makan dengan anak Skullcrawler tu, then oh shit, you see this guy punya life story and you know punya betapa baiknya dia dulu sanggup berkorban untuk Keiko lah benda semua, and then he became like this you know, this crazy obsessed guy, ajak military pergi terus Monster Island, like no self-preservation lah otak dia at all. Then you know pasal he lost someone he really cared for, because he felt that he didn't have enough information now back then. So he's going for all the information, whatever it takes, and it took his life. So macam the series actually they improves all these things. So if this is the way they're gonna do the cinematic universe, I have no problems with it, because it looks like it's working out so far.
For now. Eventually I want it to bleed. Aku nak macam you know, ada post credit scene dalam Kong Skull Island where the survivor ada awet Jepun ke awet Cina, one black guy and one white guy, and then they were talking about setting up Monarch ataupun continuing Monarch after Bill Randa. I want that to bleed into Monarch season 2 di mana
I think
yeah.
I think that's a plan. Sebab tadi okay, macam Jamal pun dah sentuh sikit pasal the animated series for Skull Island, which we both enjoyed actually, and aku rasa kau pun layan juga ni.
Best.
And here's the thing, because they do have this thought pasal when the Skull Island, kalau kau ingat balik lah, the start of the Skull Island punya animated series tu, and aku pun tak tangkap ni back then, I had my speculations, but the reason why those guys in the trawler tu dengan yang that Japanese guy and the other guy, dia berkongsi this boat, how they got there in the first place was because they said they got a map from an effed up expedition to go to this place called Skull Island, and the guys said, you want this map, ambil, but I'm telling you don't go there. So they got the map from an expedition that went and survived Skull Island, and that expedition was in 1973. Ni ada lah Wikipedia page. The expedition to Skull Island in 73 was Bill Randa. It was from his doomed expedition. It's where the guys yang dalam Skull Island animated ni dapat the map. So dah nampak they are trying to link up this series and movies. I think the idea is there. It's just that Monarch is testing water, and I think they're gonna go all out after this. Or at least that's my bersangka baik punya speculation lah.
Hopefully.
Aku suka Munif punya point tadi yang dia kata the Monarch, the series made the effort to bring everything together. So kalau kita husnuzon and we assume that was planned from the start, then by and large they were successful. But if that was not the plan, then thank you Matt Fraction and team and everyone else for Monarch, because that was the thing that made it good, right? To the point that as early as episode 4 or 5, we were like, oh, we want more monsters. The moment we hit 7, no more. It's fine, monsters, thank you. But now I want to see how this ends. So that's great. And aku rasa macam if this whole director campur pet with showrunner is something that they are comfortable with. I've been in enough productions, not to say film ke apa ke, tapi productions is production. Okay, the moment you have a nice, comfortable team to be working with, whatever you come out with is going to be fine. It might not be groundbreaking, it might not win awards, but you're going to look at it, you're going to feel proud, you're going to take ownership of it, you're going to be happy with it, you're going to be sharing with your friends tanpa segan. And if that is how they work, this whole Monsterverse punya team works, you know what? I'll take it. Because I will take a GVK if it means that I'm going to get a Monarch season 1 or season 2, if it means I'm going to get, Godzilla King of Monsters. If that is what I get, you know what? I'll take a GVK once in a while. It's fine. I'm fine with it. It's okay. No problem.
Okay lah. Maybe it's another way of making a cinematic universe, not the Marvel way.
That's why Munif gave a really nice point. I did not see it that way because I didn't think of it. But when he put it out, I think for those who yang bukan kata nitpick, tapi those yang macam mungkin overthink, and then when you think about it, kononnya nak review ataupun nak compare, and you will always compare to MCU. No one's going to compare a trilogy universe, cinematic universe to Fast and Furious kan. So, yeah, Munif is right. Maybe this is a different way of doing it, and these people don't care what you think or what is the right way. They want to do what they want to do. They think they have the right people in the team. Jalan lah.
Nice. Alright guys, so dengan itu berakhirlah segmen pertama kita, dan sekarang kita akan ke plot menarik kita yang kedua. Plot menarik kita yang kedua iaitu NU-MONARCH di bawah Cate Randa, Kentaro Randa dan Mei, iaitu generasi pelapis baru Monarch untuk masa depan. Untuk segmen ni pun ada 3 soalan. Soalan pertama adalah untuk Munif. Apakah pendapat anda tentang misteri kehilangan Hiroshi Randa, iaitu bapa dia, menjadi tunjang utama siri ini serta menyatukan trio terbaru Cate Randa, Kentaro Randa dan juga Mei the Hacker. Was there enough in this storyline untuk carry through? Pasal tiba-tiba je they spend like 7 episod cari ayah dia, tahu-tahu ayah dia dah ada kat office. Kau cari aku ke? Aku macam fuck lah, betul lah kau ni. So, apa pendapat kau?
Dia tu lah, aku agak split pasal the Hiroshi plotline ni. Pasal apa? Sebab macam kau cakap, at the start of the series, the mystery behind Hiroshi tu was very intriguing. So dia kata kapal terbang terhempas and dia hilang that way, and dia suddenly menggelabah and ciao right after G-Day. So did he have anything to do with G-Day? Macam what's going on kan? Tiba-tiba abandon your family lah tu, ada 2 family pula. The mystery deepens kan. It's just a trail of, a trail of pain, a trail of tragedy. And then sambil tu in the flashbacks, you find out pula what happened to, his so-called parents apa semua. So Hiroshi was a very intriguing figure, and part of the things that carried me through the series lah. Kita tak tahu macam what the F is going on. So apart from the sci-fi and kaiju mysteries, kau pun nak tahu pasal Hiroshi ni, what's up kan. And then macam cakap suddenly in the macam final third of the series, tiba-tiba macam mula-mula kau nampak dia masa kat Kazakhstan lah, yang dia orang macam kat kawasan lapang tu duk le Godzilla tu kan. Tiba-tiba tengok, oh shit, he's over there and the kids are over here. So macam the quest macam dah sampai dia punya climax kan, he's over there. And then suddenly he was like, belah weh. So macam, and then dia, dad, macam belah. So time tu pun aku macam, oh damn, what's going on kan. So and then macam shit hits the fan, that was still fun. And then macam, so close yet so far kan. So what's going on? How did he lure Godzilla? And then your suspicion runs deeper whether if he actually had a hand in G-Day. So what's going on tu semua? And then suddenly after that, aku vividly remember after that incident, so macam you already found him, he's alive, it's confirmed. So what's next? Itu macam, dia dekat pejabat. And then there wasn't much mystery to it actually. He just G-Day tu menyedarkan dia, and then he's like, you know what, I have to do something about it because no one believes me that the big G macam is not only around, but he has his kaiju friends with him, and they can pop up at any time at all these points in the world. And before another G-Day happens, no one's just doing anything about it. Monarch's not being helpful. Monarch lagi sibuk macam nak beritahu, tak ada apa, everything's normal. You know, nothing's going on. So he wants to alert the authority and everything, which is understandable why his character wants to do that. But I felt that it was way too early where they macam just pulled the veil of that mystique to his character and premise. Dia macam dia dah kena londeh episode 7, 8 macam tu dah, oh okay, macam we made a big deal about you, so I thought macam kita akan jumpa kau in the finale in Hollow Earth ke apa benda kan, so the track ke sampai ke Hollow Earth kan. So that role was taken by Keiko, which is, as kita pernah cakap tadi, kita memang puji lah that finale and all the plot revolving the original trio, no problems with that. Cuma aku just, maybe aku punya expectation, tak tahu, aku ingat kan kita akan jumpa dia in either Axis Mundi tu ataupun in the Hollow Earth but just unceremoniously they just kat pejabat dia and y'all need my help. so it's a bit of a letdown. Tapi here's the good thing. Here's the cheat code that the Monsterverse has sebenarnya. Walaupun bagi aku this was one of the weaker plot points of the show, but ultimately it's a Godzilla show and they made it a sci-fi show. So walaupun yang pasal Hiroshi ni a bit of a letdown, be like okay, Godzilla lawan Iron Dragon last kali, and then the secrets of the Hollow Earth, space-time dilation. So that just quickly gets buried in all this ton of good things. So kau macam tak kisah sangat. But if there's one thing yang aku suka pasal the culmination of Hiroshi punya arc ni, is that they did not let him off the hook for being an asshole father. Tak, kau tengok dia punya both families memang hancur lah last kali. So dia punya relationship and Kentaro kan.
Ya, pun itu
kena divorce first.
Please fuck off. But still take care of your son. Please fuck off.
So seorang anak tak boleh lah dibesarkan tanpa bapa kan. But you know, as far as we are concerned, you can piss off. So there were consequences to this action. Dia tak jadi titel la happy family, all is forgotten dah. Macam you ruined lives because you selfishly thought yourself to be the one tiba-tiba to save the world. You have this macam savior complex, this god complex, sampai kau abaikan, you know, macam it's funny because there was no reason why you can't do all this while letting in a Cate and Kentaro on the thing, and bring them along. So kau pun tahu this is a legacy kan, business ni kan. Kau pun inherit this business from your parental trio. So tak ada sebab kenapa kau tiba-tiba macam tak nak involve your children in this. Maybe niat kau nak avoid them from the trauma lah of being a monster hunter. But you left them with a different kind of trauma by freaking abandoning them, which ironically is what happened to you. So kalau kau take the lessons from your parent trio tu pun, the worst thing that could happen to you is abandonment, and that's what you did to your kid. So dia sebenarnya bingai juga lah Hiroshi ni. He really made the bad call, and it's good to see him suffer the consequences. And sekarang ni nampak relationship dia dengan Kentaro pun nampak macam strictly professional. Kita just nak kembalikan my sibling. So this family was macam his own ayat. This family was ruined long time ago. This family basically doesn't exist. So what little left yang aku rasa still genuine, which is aku punya ex-girlfriend May dengan Cate ni. So we're gonna get them back. You have the expertise to help. I'm not gonna love you, but you owe me this much at least for being a shitty dad. So kau pun sayang kan kau punya anak, atau macam, yeah, I'm not gonna get you back, tapi aku sayang korang, so let's work with the Apex, let's do this. Aku personal life aku dah musnah. Thank you. So in that part memang memuaskan lah. Hiroshi got what he deserved in the end. They didn't just sweep that under the rug ke apa ke. But yeah, that's the good side of it lah. It's just that on the other hand, I guess maybe it's my expectation because they built him up so much and then just unceremoniously unraveled punya character macam tu je. So I thought it'd be cool if we actually found him in the Axis Mondai tu. Tapi even if it's not like that, macam kata it's fine. Banyak gila benda best kita dapat that we didn't really notice. Aku actually didn't really notice it was a bad or rather underwhelming plot point until kau tanya aku soalan ni. That's how much aku not really bothered by it. But looking back, they probably could have done a bit more with that. So itulah.
Soalan seterusnya adalah untuk Jamal ya. Apakah pendapat anda tentang subplot May the Hacker yang aku rasa macam draggy as fuck, man. Dia macam slow burn, lepas tu tiba-tiba dia kata dengan Apex tiba-tiba, so I did not enjoy that part of the show. Like every week aku macam tolong lah jangan cerita pasal May the Hacker. Tiba-tiba ada titik sebenar, kenapa dia kena tinggalkan US. Yeah, I felt like we could have done with less May. Apa pendapat kau sebagai seorang penulis? Silakan.
I agree with you. I think her character is an important character. She was conceived as an important character. She would be the glue because Kentaro wouldn't function without her. And then she would be the fall to Kentaro. And then she would be the in to bringing Apex into the story. And then because her specific set of skills and talent, she can become like not the Deus Ex Machina, but she can become like, oh, we needed somebody with this specific skill set, and you are there. But the reason, so on paper, that's how she felt like.
So masalah casting, masalah awet the flash
No.
memang tak patut jadi
No, this is purely writing. Now, my honest opinion about the series is that if it was 7 episodes, that whatever they've given us, whatever we've seen on screen, I felt that they could have done it in 7 episodes instead of 8. So that meant that an extra 40 minutes was kind of wasted, or not to say wasted lah, that we just didn't need to see. All right? Which means that if we have space for another 40 minutes, that would have been able to be at least like 15 to 20 minutes, so that could have been used to make May a much more interesting character, not in terms of her backstory or what the character is meant to do or to be, but rather how she was revealed to the audience. And that is where I feel that one of the weaknesses of the show is that you show that you can manage multiple storylines, multiple plot lines. You've shown that by and large, you were able to do Shaw when Shaw was young, Shaw when Shaw was old, and then they converge. Okay? So you've done that. Of course, kalau kita compare the story of the 3 younger monarch people and the OG monarch people, of course, we have our favorite. We know which one is better done better. But my point is, this is when they maybe had too many plot lines to handle, and then they kind of like wrote this one last, wrote May punya tie-in semua ni last. So as a result, when you have like macam Munif kata, oh, we are really curious about Hiroshi in the first 4 to 6 episodes, they did not like insert atau cut to May punya plot atau May punya story arc well enough. So the first 2 episodes, they took 3 episodes to slowly bring up the whole, oh, sebenarnya aku kat Jepun ni sebab aku lari. You did not need to take 3 episodes, right? It could have been as simple as there's a reason why she was hiding. She told them to go. Then she lied about not being able to open the hard disk that Hiroshi took. And then when she was going through them, the shortcut could have been, this was the exact same shit that she saw when she was working for Apex, going underground whatever level and going over her pay ni, because she was just, I don't know, you pay me so much money to sit at this table and do nothing, I hack lah. So if whatever she saw in that hard drive was the exact same thing that she saw when she hacked them, there you go. That's the tie-in. That's when she says, you know what? I'm going to follow Kentaro. I'm going to follow Kate. Because now, out of the blue, Kentaro, you have a sister, but out of the blue, you gave me this hard disk that was from your dad, containing shit that I hacked into when I was at Apex. What the fuck?
Baru dia bersambung.
Baru dia bersambung. And then you will go like, oh shit, now we can't lose May. Even if May is an annoying character and poorly written, we need her. Because she is going to be able to give us that wildcard. Kalau Lee Shaw tak punya karakter tak jalan, kalau they get abandoned by Monarch or hunted by Monarch, she is the wildcard that's going to be able to explain why Monarch is hunting them, why Lee Shaw ran away from them. Faham tak? But that was not written that way. Now, I speculate, things like this, dia terlepas pandang atau oversight. Sometimes it can happen in a writer's room where you have a lot of writers, and then macam, bila you macam, okay, kita ada 8 plotline, kita kena manage over the 8 episodes. So, kita kena ada tier. Which plotlines are integral to the show? Which plotlines are secondary? Which plotlines are da-da-da-da-da? So, if, I speculate, if May was one of the plotlines, kalau dia approach macam ni, then May might have been one of those plotlines yang macam, tak apalah. You know, you're number 2. You're not even secondary. Because secondary would be, I know, Keiko, Lee Shaw punya old, faham tak? So, that could have been how she ended up like this. Because, of course, kita hindsight lah. Tapi kalau, if me sitting here, listen to you and Munif talk about it, can go like, yeah, they should have just done this. That was the reason why she got kicked out from Apex and she feared for her life and she ran away. Why not you put the stakes there? Where for her, the mistake was hacking. But what that she then realized was that it's not just the hacking, it's what she saw when she hacked. You know? Then it would have been like, okay, wow, great. Then there are the stakes. Because dia macam, aku nak datang balik ke tak? Then dia ada conflict. Kalau I say yes to coming back to Apex, these people don't know that this was what I saw when I hacked. So maybe I acah ke Apex, okay, I'm back. Tapi sebenarnya, that is my chance to now really find out the answer for them and do something meaningful for the whole thing. Faham tak? Then it becomes great.
Misteri Hiroshi dengan secret May tu serasi.
And the best part is if May decided to do that on her own anyway, then it's even better. Then it reflects on her character yang, okay, I've lived in Japan for God knows how many years. I've always been a lone wolf, And macam, kalau aku sembang dengan Kentaro pun tak guna. Mamat ni, dah ada issues kan. Artis pula tu, memang tak ada skill set yang boleh masuk dalam team ni langsung, outside of the fact that kau anak Hiroshi. Then it becomes great because she feels that, now if I don't do this, because of my own personal curiosity, at least I have a excuse to do it which is, fine, somebody needs to take care of Kentaro. And then, that gives her the excuse to connect with Kate. Because, you know, so tiba-tiba benda ni dia boleh jadi macam, there you go. Now these characters will be more natural with each other. Now if we have a Kate and a May in a room, we know what they will talk, we know how they will talk, we know what they will wanna, what they would share with each other, what they wouldn't say to each other. Then that makes the exchange more compelling. Because macam, okay, sini kita kena May dengan Kate sembang, lepas tu diorang sedar yang contohnya Keiko is something ke, Lee Shaw nak buat something. But we have to do that within the dynamics of like, May ada benda ni yang dia tengah nak buat, nak tolong Kate dengan Kentaro, tapi dia orang tak tahu sebab dia pun sebenarnya ada misi dia. Faham? So then it becomes very interesting. But I guess this is what happens lah. So that's what I feel about May punya character. I feel that she, on paper, was a character that was necessary for the show. She was underused or she was miswritten, whatever it is. That was what we got lah. That was why kita punya reaction to her is lukewarm. Macam aku, we don't even need to go and see her parents. That is a waste of time. Go see her parents, sister. Oh, May wouldn't say this, wouldn't say that. We don't have to do that. You just give the scene. May kata, oh no, I haven't cracked it yet. Leave me alone, tutup pintu. And then Kentaro dengan Kate macam, fuck this shit. That's why I broke up with her. They leave. And then we cut back into her in the room. Macam, buka. Oh, dia nampak Monarch. And then muka dia pelik. 3 episodes later, when they tell the story, oh, this is why you left Apex, dia buka, boom, kita nampak Monarch. That's when we go like, whoa. But we didn't get that.
Betul.
So, sayang lah.
sayang. And also aku tak suka casting Casey Clemens tu. Aku sejak The Flash aku benci yang dia jadi awet The Flash tu. Aku the fuck lah. But it could have like been
I thought
anybody else.
the casting was fine. I think she was not written. She was not enabled. She was not empowered to do the best she could.
Against black actress kot. So that's just me. I'm sorry. Alright. Soalan terakhir untuk segmen ini adalah untuk semua panelis. Apakah pendapat korang tentang monarch di zaman moden telah berevolusi menjadi more about maintaining the status quo and less about kaiju sighting adventures pada zaman pengasas diorang. Especially kau tengok dalam watak team tu, kan dia memberontak against the system, saying that why are we just maintaining the status quo when we should be looking for leisure, we should be checking out that gamma burst. What does that all mean? So dia macam he's just like the founders, tapi everybody else is like tak ada, kita covert operation, kita just need to read charts and then maintain the status quo and then report the monthly meeting. So yeah, how far has the mighty has fallen? Apa pendapat kau, Munif? Silakan.
I mean, you can chalk that off to bureaucracy lah, aku rasa. Sebab dia macam mana? The thing is, organizations, I mean real life organizations through the years pun can start off as something wildly different and then end up operating as something completely unrecognizable to how they started. And for reasons, and usually when an organization expands in importance, in financial status, or I bet like most of everyone important in the government by now knows monarch was semua kan. So you can imagine maybe dapat direct directive daripada the prime minister pun is just probably macam kata you know what, benda-benda ni pun muncul sekali-sekala je, so let's not cause the people to panic, or it's gonna affect our elections, and then they're gonna tell every kerajaan yang muncul, hey, where's our coastal torpedoes and shit in case the kaiju datang pun macam it's like macam mana kami nak sakau kan, we kena build all these anti-kaiju defenses semua. As of now, as you can see in the world kita tengok, dia okay lah, adalah sikit-sikit macam sentry punya artillery tu, atau ada signage tunjuk Godzilla punya evacuation punya route sini-sini hadah lah. But if the whole people know is that there are multiple portals around the world, and menatang ni there's actually more than 3 yang kita tahu sekarang, macam at that point lah is the 2 Mutos and Godzilla, and there's more, and then you telling me banyak lagi yang monarch discover yang diorang tak cakap. For example, like kalau aku follow the timeline properly, I think they discovered the Muto macam in the Philippines or something, that's in 99 lah. Lepas tu Rodan they discovered in that volcano in 91. So by the time kita monarch ni dah start, monarch is aware of there actually even kaijus hibernating or tengah menetas on the surface world pun. So kalau dia just guys, we're all gonna die. Dia kan the government mesti macam macam Rodan tu tidur lah bawah volcano, tak buat apa kan since 91 kan, okey lah tu. Yang telur-telur ni tak hash pun, the 99 kan, dah tahun berapa ni. I mean, if they were gonna hash, dah hash kan, jelek lah dulu kan. So pakai banyak duit ni, it's a logistical nightmare if this gets out. So aku rasa that's probably what happened to monarch as an organisation. So dia jadi macam, ironically is that when you don't have all the info, you desperately scramble for the infos. That's when they endorse all these monster huntings and everything. But when you have all the info, finally, when you are aware of the true nature of the world, then it's all about damage control. Then it's all about, kan, macam in a way, as shitty as that is a very human organization punya reaction to the situation. That you can envision like real life government agencies, they're gonna be like, they're probably not telling us a lot of shit right now, but maybe there's a lot of things yang rakyat patut tahu pun kita tengah tak tahu sekarang. So it's happening in real time even, so it makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't be the first organisation juga in reality to macam either change or expand dia punya functions. Take ni lah, je kita baru tengok apa Killers of the Flower Moon kan. So dia tunjuk the origins of the FBI, how it started. So they had this independent investigation untuk bela these guys yang mereka tahu like everyone in that region is corrupt lah apa semua. So kita for the people on the ground, kita datang sini nak tolong. And then now somehow or rather the FBI has just expanded to a level yang not just in jurisdiction tapi even in pop culture. Orang cakap FBI is these are the cool guys saving the world and shit lah kan. Padahal macam dia dah jadi macam lain lah perception to how it started in the first place. So kalau Monarch ni, kalau aku nak rationalize why they came, I think it's the bureaucracy, I think it's the red tape, I think they just got too big to continue being swashbuckling. Dia dah terlalu besar, so there's weight to every one of its movements, so dia kena every action dia ambil cannot be drastic because you are too big to do some crazy shit like that. And ironically, then the world suffers because of the inaction, as how we would see in 2009 when your Monster Zero dah terlepas, and then your Rodan dah terlepas, and all the Kaijus dah terlepas, and they all like went haywire because of the presence of Monster Zero, and then they wreak havoc all around the world. And then you're thinking, if Monarch actually shared the info with the governments of the world, or at the very least civilian were made notice by these things, the casualties and the destruction would have been a lot lesser. Sebab macam Rodan tu, people were living around his volcano. They know he's there since 91. Tapi they just sealed the volcano off. And just macam dia cakap, aku tak ingat dia kata volcano tu bahaya, or is it just some kind ecological research site, civilian tak boleh naik and everything, and orang duk tinggal keliling tu. People died with the flap of the wings, beribu-ribu mati. So we could see in the King of the Monsters that what Monarch has become was a mistake. Yes, dia berubah and we understand why it evolved, but you not only did not do what you were supposed to do, but you caused all this death and destructions because of withholding information. So King of the Monsters proved to us what Monarch has become sekarang was a big mistake.
Yes.
So itulah.
Yes. Dia macam the moment that the military took over daripada Lee Shaw tu, itu dah kita mula nampak kejatuhan Monarch. Dia dah jadi bureaucratic, dia dah jadi dia macam prevention is better than cure. Kita cure lah bila terjadi. Bila dah terjadi baru kita cure lah.
Lepas tu dia civilian ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
So ada dalam volcano tu ada Rodan tu, biar dia orang buat rumah situ.
Itulah Jamal, apa pendapat kau? Especially kalau kau tengok dalam GVK, kita nampak yang I think watak Habibi tu daripada Eternals tu, he was a conspiracy theorist on YouTube. So yeah, some of the humans realize that there are shit going on and Monarch is keeping stum about it. So apa pendapat kau? Silakan.
Aku rasa macam there is a reason why they wanted to do this series, is they wanted to show the complexities behind the history of Monarch. It's a complicated history, and they might have felt that this would be interesting. Personally, masa aku tengok the first Godzilla film in I think 2018 2019. Sekejap, aku check Monsterverse first film. 2014 No. Yeah, the 2014 one, and then Skull Island
2014. Yeah.
2014. So when I watched that, and then there were references to Monarch, and then the Mutos and all that, I liked it a lot. I felt that I'm not a purist, Godzilla purist or Kaiju purist. Aku just rasa macam, well, if Hollywood wants to take Godzilla and bring it to Hollywood and Americanize it, well, Monarch is not the worst thing. And in fact, the way the naming was done, the way the logo was made, the way how they were very clandestine, hire mercenaries, betul ada government intervention, ada government involvement sikit-sikit. Yep, that's pretty much how it would happen lah. And that is such an American way of doing it, and I kind of liked it. So I thought it worked. So bila masuk to Skull Island, masuk to King of Monsters, aku rasa macam, yeah, I have accepted Monarch in this Hollywood kaiju verse, right? The presence of Monarch, I feel, is important because while in terms of size and scale and characterization, Godzilla is the protagonist of this entire IP, Monarch, due to the size and due to the idea that it represents and due to the history and blah 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 blah, would be another party that is like an equal storytelling punya that adds an equal storytelling weight. So you can write a story of Monarch versus Godzilla, Monarch doing something for Godzilla. Faham tak? Because Monarch is that big. So aku suka benda tu. And I never thought that they would do a series about Monarch because I felt that macam, yeah, the idea of you as an organization that, you know, researches kaijus and all that, King of Monsters did that well enough to show how much scale and how much resources you had. The bloody submarine, the bloody plane, that was enough for me. So if we never got the Monarch miniseries, TV series, I would have been fine. As much as I dislike GVK, I would have been fine. Because I understand when they did GVK, we needed to give more weight to Monarch. Godzilla is going to be Godzilla. We don't need to like embellish it. We don't need to like, oh, Godzilla punya bapa, whatever. We don't need to do that. We just need to show him in his raw kaiju-ness. Cukup. But Monarch, to sort of like match the Godzilla punya presence, we need to show this sense of scale, this sense of progress, this sense of maybe even, oh, kita nak ambil kaiju punya research and do something with it dan sebagainya. So that's cool. So bila dia buat series ni and they say like, hey, you know what, we think that you would enjoy us talking more about Monarch. First impression aku macam, are you sure? Because I think we have enough Monarch and GVK was not a great moment. And then they gave us, and then we saw the three musketeers, Shaw, Keiko and Bill. And then macam, oh, we kind of like this, right? Because tiba-tiba benda tu became grounded in reality, in actual real history. Oh, World War, Aska, Oh, now the atom bombs or the nuclear bomb testings were not actually testing for the sake of war, right? So when they do things tie-ins like this, shit becomes more interesting. And I could not digress kejap. This is why I'm really pissed at Michael Bay. When they did Dark Side of the Moon, they got the Luna launching, and I thought like, great. I never thought you would be someone who would entertain giving a lot of gravitas to a Transformers film. But you did. But you fucked it up. Because you, like the Zack Snyders of the world, oh, the idea of it is great. And you expect your viewers to be all people who will think the same. Oh, the idea of the lunar landing is related to Transformers is fucking cool. And then you don't care at all about the execution. You don't refine it.
The visuals of it is great.
The visuals,
to a certain
it's just the idea of it. But it's not like macam, oh, lunar landing sebenarnya tak ada. It's just like a 3-minute scene of like diorang kata, oh, this is why US lawan Russia. So I come back to Monarch. When they put it, they made the nuclear bomb testing about that. Aku rasa macam, okay, I'm all in. Now I want to know Monarch. Because now it is almost as interesting as Godzilla is intriguing. Faham tak? Because you're never going to get somebody who's going to tell the story of Godzilla. But you have someone telling the story of Monarch. And then kau tengok at the heart of that is 3 people who eventually, despite whatever challenges they have, are people who genuinely respected what each other was doing. One of them was in a position to make sure that the other 2, who were the key people, the hearts and the mind, will get to do whatever they had dreamt of doing. Because if they don't, then he probably felt that I'm not going to find any 2 other nicer people than Keiko and Bill to do this shit. Anyone that I find doing this is probably going to be somebody who has his own vested interest ke, atau orang yang unscrupulous and can be swayed by money and whatever and power. And then for me, that is what is great about Monarch, because now you have one, okay, Monarch kita pass down, tapi sebab kita ada insiden sekarang Monarch dah taken over by the army, lepas tu dia jadi government ke apa benda ke, kita tak tahu. But at the same time, the story is about how the people who started Monarch could not continue their legacy. Bill died while trying to continue his legacy and extend it in Kong. Lee could not do it because of everything else that failed and he got stuck in an old folks home. Keiko could not do it because she got stuck at Axis Mundi. So whatever continued out of Monarch was not them. And then you have the three kids, the Kentaro, the May, and the Cate, as the legacy of Monarch yang sebenarnya related tapi dia orang tak tahu dia related, so dia orang jadi dysfunctional. So like in that sense, you can look at the series as, oh, this is how you not supposed to pass things down. That's what they kata legacy of monsters. So because the whole series is predicated on legacy. How do you pass things down? And it was very done, that the idea of it was done nicely. Jadi bila Monarch, you present Monarch in this way, we become invested in Monarch. Sebab kita macam, okay, aku nak Monarch ni baik sebab dia boleh protect Kaiju. Akan ada orang fikir macam tu. Kan? Ada orang pula macam fikir, oh, aku rasa Monarch ni dia patut buat research, lepas tu dia boleh tag team dengan mana-mana military unit or agency of the countries in the world, and then dia boleh berjaga-jaga sebab Godzilla seorang tak boleh lawan banyak-banyak mutos. You know, you have those kind of like permutations of what Monarch could be, or you can have like very purely scientific. But now you kata macam, okay, now Monarch is figuring out how to do shit, and you have Apex being that we are like Elon Musk, tapi we are into kaijus, you know, like we are into. Then you have macam, alah, damn it, twisted. So now Monarch tiba-tiba when Keiko returns as the spiritual, not even heir, but the spiritual leader, and then macam, okay, Monarch, do you have a moral responsibility now to defend the kaijus, to redress whatever Monarch has digressed into, in response to Apex trying to sort of like, okay, kita nak silent, kita nak masuk ke tepi, and we want all this pie to ourselves. Then it becomes great because Keiko is back, and now you have that spiritual leadership because she was the founder. Then Monarch becomes interesting, and then when we get caught in all that shit, tiba-tiba, don't forget guys, this is still my show. I'm Godzilla, by the way. It's been a while. The last time I saw you. What's up, Ghidorah? What's up, Keiko? Dia jadi lagi macam boom. So I feel that this is why Monarch is ni lah. Aku rasa macam this series could have fucked up Monarch and we could have hated it and we would have dreaded watching anything else that comes after this. But macam Munif cakap tadi, yeah, now you basically strapped everyone in for the ride. Because whatever GVK fucked up, now kita dah lupa dah benda tu. Kita like, we literally macam, okay, cool, it's okay GVK, we give you, it's okay Monsterverse, we give you one bad film. And it's great. And that's what I feel the last scene represents, because it's about legacy. And then Lee Shaw tak boleh move on. So dia datang, dia make sure dia pergi balik Axis Mundi, dia dah buat kerja dia. Okay, let go. Just let go, Keiko. And that he literally pulls her arm off. Faham tak? Whatever you're holding on to, just no. Aku rasa macam, wow, that's pretty poetic in a Monsterverse. I'm not going to use that word, but I just did. It's pretty cool. But don't lah expect benda ni macam pandai intellectual gila. No, it's not. It's just a well-written series with its flaws and weaknesses, but it's a well-written series nonetheless. It's thoroughly enjoyable. Very, very well produced. It looks great. The monster on top of that Alps thing, dude, that looks great, bro. This just looks really, really good. And like, if you ask monster fans, fuck the Monarch story, fuck the Keiko cool character, women character. This is just a nice, decent, nice, enjoyable monster series, and that's all we want. That's all we want. You don't insult our intelligence. That's all.
By the way, that monster was created by anak Mad Fraction.
Oh, crony.
Yeah, that's really cool. Sebab I can imagine macam, Dad, what you're working on? I'm not supposed to tell you, but I'm going to tell you I'm working on like the Monarch series. And then the kid goes like, oh my god. Like, can you see this monster? Macam, yeah.
It's
like so cool lah. Yeah, you never know kan. Like, ataupun dia macam, Anak dia tak tahu tu macam, Mark, aku tak tahu anak dia kan, nama Mark ke nama Ethan ke, Ethan, like, if you could like design a monster for like a Godzilla film or series, like how would it look like? Oh, I want it to fire ice. I want it to have like shit on the face. Yes, I can imagine that would be like,
Yeah,
that's
man.
how it would
Like
happen.
a kid
Yeah,
drawing
like a
it.
kid
Lepas
in the
tu
scribble. So
dia ada
macam,
portion ni,
this is
lepas tu
pretty
dia boleh
cool.
buat macam ni, lepas tu
Betul lah Hasan. Lepas tu dia macam, lepas tu kalau ada api je baru dia datang. Kalau tak ada api dia tak datang. Macam, okay. I'm like, yeah man. Because I feel people who love Monsterverses are just like, we just want to have fun. We just like, faham tak? Smash things. So macam cool lah. I mean,
yeah, man.
aku suka Monarch. I love the logo. First time aku tengok 2014 macam, logo kau ni cantik ah. It feels very
Clean,
private, very
Dia
corporate.
Dia campur infinity. M campur infinity.
So dia macam, it's very private, it feels corporate, tapi dia macam, asal rasa macam logo ni macam serious, dia macam kesam nak. Faham tak?
Also kan one thing aku notice, tak tahulah kalau ada kaitan ke tak, dia punya shape tu kan. Because we also know there are monarch butterflies. So in a way pun dia nampak macam butterfly ke sebenarnya.
Yeah.
Which is one of the largest species of butterflies. So maybe itu representation of them hunting large things ke, that's a symbolic tak tahu kan.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I dig that.
Yeah. Nice, man. Alright guys, so dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita akan ke plot menarik kita yang terakhir. Segmen terakhir kita malam ini adalah tentang Axis Mundi dan juga Apex, di mana kita bakal membincangkan tentang pemain-pemain baru di dalam dunia Kaiju ini serta elemen baru yang mungkin mengubah masa depan franchise Monsterverse. Jadi untuk segmen ini aku ada dua soalan. Soalan pertama adalah untuk Munif. Apakah pendapat anda tentang pengenalan Axis Mundi, The World Between Worlds, yang bukannya Hollow Earth seperti yang kita lihat di dalam filem JVK, namun equally important untuk masa depan franchise Monsterverse nanti. Kalau boleh talk about it for a little bit, kenapa ada time dilation effect, what does World Between Worlds mean, so silakan.
Okay, so selain aku ni I'm a big kaiju fan, I'm also a big sci-fi fan. So kau imagine bila tengok Monarch it could have just easily been, Hollow Earth ni lubang bawah tanah, dia orang duduk lah lubang bawah tanah kan. But no, they just will not leave it at that. They actually had to go freaking sci-fi with this shit. So aku memang sangat suka gila the addition of this Axis Mundi ni in between the surface world and the Hollow Earth. Sebab it's very intriguing. Lagi-lagi macam, okay, I'm not saying I'm a man of science ke apa benda, tapi aku suka baca tu, journals from Kip Thorne and the guy who consulted the Interstellar movies, one of the greatest modern astrophysicians in the world. Aku pun subscribe to these knowledge magazines, baca about, all this shit lah, this macam scientific things that borders on the sci-fi kan. So I just really love these things. And aku rasa this series in a way was made for guys with my interest tu juga. Pasal apa tau? Sebab kalau kau ingat kan ada perempuan yang duduk macam dalam that caravan tengah-tengah desert, dia ambil readings tu kan. And then dia kata dia detect like macam gamma ray burst tau. Which bila aku dengar dia cakap dia detect gamma ray burst tu of such a high quantity tu, aku immediately dah macam wait, what? And then as perempuan tu explain, it confirms aku punya suspicion that this is not just lubang dalam tanah. Sebab dia kata or they establish at the points of entry to the Hollow Earth lah, mula-mula kita ingat, dia kata ada this gamma ray burst, which as she mentioned, betul, kita hanya nampak dekat, kita usually detect dekat neutron star tau. So what is a neutron star is that kalau ada bintang aka matahari ni mati, dia punya mass sangat tinggi that the mass akan collapse into itself ke dia punya teras tau. Dia akan jadi compress sampai bayangkan dia jadi sebesar bola sepak lah for example, tapi with the mass of that sun tu still retain. Dia punya berat tu and dia punya mass tu sama, tapi molekul dia sempurna lah compress jadi sebesar bola sepak with the same mass. So benda tu ialah neutron star. They can emit really high gamma burst punya radiations lah. So the funny thing about neutron star is that bila bintang tu collapse, dia kan jadi one of either two things. Either kalau dia tak jadi neutron star, dia kan jadi a black hole. So which also emit some kind of like similar punya radiation lah kan. So bila dia cakap dia detect signals of something on the earth which you usually find at neutron stars and black holes, aku dah macam hold on, are they doing what I think they're doing? It's not just a hole in the earth. And then tiba-tiba dari situ aku start to flashback balik all the shit yang aku seen pasal Hollow Earth dalam the Monsterverse punya movie ni, and aku start rasa macam banyak benda make sense. So ini yang aku tak sure sama ada, macam Jamal tanya ni, did they plan all this lalu culmination dia in Monarch, ataupun macam maybe aku speculate tu Monarch is written to gel everything together kan. Sebab whatever it is, dia memang heighten and improve other movies in the Monsterverse, and even bagi aku lah solve some of the plot holes tau. And a lot of that has to do dengan pengenalan Axis Mandi ni. So aku bagi kau some examples kenapa aku rasa this is a good addition, or if this was a plan all along, tak tahu, but let's just say addition. Okay, so with the Axis Mandi ni, kau pun boleh explain the plot hole of kenapa orang, kau dah tahu ada Hollow Earth kan, the military monarch dah tahu ada Hollow Earth. Why not they just get a freaking expedition, masuk dalam tanah and find these things? Why is it still a mystery bila kau dah tahu from which points in the world dia keluar? Kau dah tahu dari mana dia datang, kau dah tahu the Kaiju exist, kenapa tak masuk pergi cari kan? So tak boleh, because of the Axis Mandi tu, as we know, is tempat yang dia ada a very high gravity punya distortion, and this is real science. Bila tempat tu ada high gravity punya distortion or density, dia akan affect space-time. So with that, tempat yang space-time dah jadi wonky, kau tak boleh masuk macam tu saja. So it's not a lubang dalam tanah yang kau boleh terjun dan jumpa Hollow Earth. So because dia tambah this layer of Axis Mandi, which is a realm of distorted space-time, so they explain kenapa orang just tak boleh turun pergi cari tau. And the other thing yang bagus with the introduction of this concept is also the fact yang kau ada luring mechanism untuk Titan, which yes, helps move the plot, tapi it makes sense. Sebab since it is distorted space-time, so kita faham maybe kejadian portal-portal ni jadi sebab ada some kind of high density punya collapse sampai space tear tau kat situ. So it's just like a black hole, sebab tu dia ada this gamma burst punya radiation ni. And kita pun tahu the Kaijus irradiated punya creatures kan, and lebih-lebih Godzilla. So the two concept tu they make sense, they tied together. So that's why the Kaijus are always lured to where ada this gamma burst, because it's also a composition of their body, you know, atau they are sensitive to it and they pun boleh detect that, and they know animal instinct. Tiap kali aku pergi ke tempat bila ada this high gamma burst ni, I'll end up somewhere where there's a lot of food. Contoh orang kan. So it's a scientific explanation of why orang tak boleh senang-senang masuk, but it's also a scientific explanation kenapa macam Kaiju asyik muncul, asyik pergi to this random 7 holes in the world now, because they are drawn to it. And with that, they pun dapat create that mechanism where what if we use human tech, simulate balik the gamma burst punya signature, and you can use that as a device or literal plot device lah untuk tarik Kaijus to where you want them to go, such as the finale of Monarch lah. Kita tengok the Eon Dragon pun pergi situ, Godzilla pun pergi situ. But it makes sense sebab it's tied to the entrance and exit of the Axis Mandi. Lepas tu, kalau macam tadi Jamal pun yang cakap saya Godzilla vs Kong, which aku pun despite sangat suka movie tu, ada banyak part yang buat aku macam garu kepala sikit. Tapi aku rasa dengan pengenalan Axis Mandi ni, I don't know, for me it makes some things better. Aku bagi kau contoh. Bila Godzilla macam dia dekat Hong Kong, dia fikir atomic breath tanah. Oi, sampai ke teras bumi kan. Lepas tu, so semua macam tepat benda ni. Lepas tu Godzilla dia roar, kau boleh dengar pula. Boy, kau panggil aku ke? Lepas tu naik, weh, gila kau, dalam gila kot. What the hell are you guys doing kan? So macam agak-agak lah nak suspension of disbelief pun. But then when you think about it, you know, kau dah tengok series Monarch ni, they are separated by a layer of distorted space-time. So aku rasa what we were seeing in GVK tu sebenarnya Godzilla dia blast
pelangi yang pelangi tu is the
yes
layer.
Yes. Cuma kau tak nampak because of the soil lah yang jadi the wall of the tunnel bila Godzilla blast tu. So what happens is that distance is distorted to be close in time and space. Sebab there's a layer of axis mandi before you get to the hollow earth. So that's not literally teras bumi. That's a pocket universe connected by axis mandi, which was exposed bila Godzilla pergi blast directly ke sana. So dia bukan literal distance dari kerak ke teras. Dia blast through the membrane of axis mandi tu, connecting to that pocket universe which we call the hollow earth. That's why they were close enough to hear each other and climb towards each other. And the other thing, and dalam movie King of the Monsters was 2019 kan. Godzilla versus Kong in their timeline should be the 2020 or 2024. 2024. So kau imagine in the Monarch finale, it's established that they the ni lah Keiko semua dia keluar from the portal, keluar daripada axis mandi tu was in 2017. Alright, so we know at least actually masa Shaw keluar back in the masa Lee keluar masa 70s, so mereka dah tahu dah there was a time distortion now going into axis mandi. So they know since the 70s about time and space distortion. Imagine the tech that they could develop until 2024. So kenapa aku bangkitkan point ni, sebab one of the things yang orang criticize pasal Godzilla vs Kong yang aku pun macam again garu kepala is kan mereka nak ambil that hollow earth punya radiation untuk power mecha Godzilla tu. And then si perempuan tu dia ambil kanister tu, dia pacak dalam tanah, terus copy dekat lab dia orang kat surface the energy signature. Kau ingat tak that part? So macam what? Ingatkan dia literally nak ambil the soil sample with the hollow earth radiation tu and bawa balik to the surface. Dia boleh copy macam gitu je. Dia dalam lab tu dia copy balik macam tu macam kau hantar facts tapi macam energy kan, what the F is going on. So yang tu one of the plot point yang orang criticize. Tapi again, because of Monarch, I rasa that makes sense. Pasal apa? Kalau kau from the 70s, you are aware of space-time distortion and kau duk hantar expedition masuk, meaning you have been actively toying, playing with and making malleable time distortion. 2024, there's no reason kenapa kau punya tech or understanding of quantum science or quantum physics dah jadi gila babi advance. So bila dia copy the hollow earth punya radiation, copy terus sampai ke lab dia tu, what you're seeing is actually it's something that we call quantum entanglement sebenarnya, which is an act of superposition. Kau bayangkan, kata okay, quantum entanglement ni is kalau ada satu molekul dekat sini, katalah kat rumahku, tu ada lagi satu molekul dekat Penang. Kalau kau jentik molekul ni, dia bergegar. Molekul kat Penang tu akan bergegar sebiji direction berapa kali momentum sama macam molekul yang aku baru jentik ni kat sini. Padahal dia kat dua tempat berbeza. But that doesn't matter. Sebab they're both the same molecule. The same. Bukan copy. They are the same. Cuma at same thing is at two different places at once. Itu orang panggil superposition. No. It only happens on the quantum punya level. So aku rasa what they did is that they've mastered quantum physics. Sampai that canister tu, whatever happens or muncul in the canister will muncul in the lab because of quantum entanglement. So this is not sci-fi tau. Quantum entanglement ada dalam banyak scientific journals, kau boleh baca pun. So imagine bumi yang daripada the 70s dah tahu pasal space-time distortion. It's not impossible to say you can do that in like 2024. So again, in its own way, aku tengok macam, it kind of makes sense. And then, get this. Mereka nak keluar masuk di axis mandi tu, mereka kena lure kaiju datang. Pasal apa? Sebab kaiju are highly radiated. Dia punya presence boleh break that space-time distortion punya wall. Sebab tu kau tengok masa the Iron Dragon tu kalah and mayat dia kena, bangkai dia kena campak masuk dalam the time stream tu, dia jadi ada lubang, dia crack, pecah. And that's when Keiko punya ship so tu boleh masuk inside. So this is why mereka kena use the device, emit the gamma burst radiation untuk lure kaiju pergi ke situ and then they piggyback untuk travel. Kenapa aku bangkitkan benda ni pula is because it also bagi aku solves another plot hole where bila kau tengok Godzilla vs Kong, aku tak faham why and how is Godzilla macam dia tahu mana bangunan Apex, dia pergi wrecking this shit. How? Why? Kenapa dia specifically kan dia duduk serang banyak Apex base all around the world, and aku rasa they were doing that with the tech that they introduced in Monarch. So bila they emit that gamma burst punya radiation, and we know in Monarch they dah successfully do it kan. So I think they're using the same thing dan Godzilla vs Kong. So only bila kau tengok Monarch macam So that's how they did it. So kau banyak everything. Tak tahu, so they work in reverse. So everything that was macam criticized dalam the Monsterverse, the introduction of this Axis Mandi dalam Monarch ni kinda addresses those things, or at least makes it better tau. Walaupun maybe kau rasa dia reaching sikit ke apa ke. And tu lah, dia explain banyak benda lah. Kenapa the kaijus maybe ada sudden growth. Orang kata Godzilla masa tahun ni besar ni, Godzilla tahun ni tidur besar tu. Kong Skull Island je besar ni, tidur Godzilla vs Kong je besar ni. So, you're talking about guys walking through portals of time-space distortion. So, this is why not only kenapa dia orang hilang lama-lama between movies, and why between movies kau tengok size dia orang and Godzilla punya fins je completely lain. Sebab there's probably like huge time gap. So when they actually disappear from battle, so because of the time distortion. Kau ingat kau tak nampak dia ni 5 tahun. But you never know whether kalau masuk tu tak tahu how many years has passed and so on kan. So again the Axis Mandi punya device ni, they really helps answer all these nitpicks and big glaring plot points. So satu aku macam watching this is making me it's making the cinematic versions, whatever the ratings, makin lama makin perfect in my eyes. Not like gila boy perfection, but so much better. Lepas tu and it also makes Alien make sense. Okay, so ada setengah orang aku tengok dia komen ke macam dia berkata Ghidorah was not of this earth kan. Dia extraterrestrial in nature kan. Miura tu dia datang from the stars. So sebab tu semua kaiju ni macam okay, mereka sembah Godzilla is a king, whatever, but they never acknowledge Ghidorah. Sebab as far as they're concerned, this is just an invasive species and a tyrant. So, ada semua macam, benda dah alien pula tiba-tiba ni kan. So, again, the whole Axis Mandi thing ni kind of softens the blow. Pasal apa? It's a space yang connects Hollow Earth, and it actually establishes Hollow Earth as a pocket dimension. Kan, ni teoriku. Ini teoriku. It's a pocket dimension, not really some lubang in the earth per se, tau. So somehow or rather, the Axis Mandi ni, because it's a space-time distortion, by sheer luck ke apa ke, dia terpintal and terconnectkan our earth, and then di dalam our earth tu ada pocket dimension. So kalau kau nak compare, dia macam how Earth is connected to Asgard, to Talo, dalam Shang-Chi macam tu. So Hollow Earth is that. So sebab tu kau tengok, there's a scene in the final episode where old Lee Shaw cakap dengan the kiddos and dia what happened? Oh, how deep are we underground? Benda something like that. Dia kata, are you sure we underground? Are you sure we fell? Or did we enter? So kenapa dia cakap, are you sure we fell? Is testament that It's not underground. Kau tak kenapa dia cakap, are you sure we fell? Kita we entered. That is probably a planet solar systems away tau sebenarnya yang kita connected tu. Cuma bezanya they are tied to our world through axis mundi and the portals. But Ghidorah who's probably from another system and literally terbang here to the earth. Satu dia pun tak acknowledge tu. So they are all extraterrestrial sebenarnya. Cuma Ghidorah came from a different system and dia pun memang tak iktiraf.
Wait. Kalau diorang semua alien maksudnya akan ada Ultraman lah daripada planet.
Tak ada. Ultraman takkan ada. Ultraman takkan ada sebab cerita ni set in Hollywood. Kalau cerita ni set in Jepun, yes.
Mana tahu.
So,
Pacific Rim tu pun alien juga bro. Pacific Rim.
Tak, sebab tu dia kena buat. Sebab tu they were speculating. I think okay. Like I feel that Hollow Earth is Hollow Earth, but outside of that, I am completely 157% behind Munif's theory. I just feel that Munif's long lengthy explanation ni, tapi very clear, is basically could possibly be the conversations that they have had, which eventually led to the whole, kalau macam tu kan, kalau kita tie in dengan Pacific Rim boleh tak? Right? Because
yalah, the rifts, the dimensions.
And the second film never really explained how the hell did that portal rift ended up there, right? So
Axis Mundi.
So let's just say hypothetically speaking, in 2020 tengah COVID, dia orang macam, Monsterverse ni kita nak sambung ke tak ni? Sambung lah, takkan tak sambung. Tapi nak sambung macam mana kan? Since kita tak boleh nak shoot, might as well we talk about it now. And then macam, okay, itulah nanti GVK kita nak buat Hollow Earth. Lepas tu macam, cukup besar ke Hollow Earth tu. And then macam, and then all this alien world. And then like, they were putting things together. And then some random bloke said, kalau macam kan Gojira dia masuk macam lubang-lubang tu. Kalau lubang ni portal, macam yang portal kat Pacific Rim tu, style gak? And then somebody goes, tapi kita dah ada Hollow Earth. Godzilla dah ada Hollow Earth. Okay, wait. What if Godzilla is like, like, we don't know if it's earthly or not, right? Our dinosaurs don't have, like, Stegosaurus cannot charge dia punya plates to and then fire shit. Okay? So, like, Godzilla might not be from here. Habis tu macam mana? Takkan Godzilla tu macam Kaiju dalam Pacific Rim keluar daripada portal kot? Tu macam, why not? And then semua orang senyap. Like, literally, everybody just, And then like some geek in the room yang memang junior writer macam, do you know there's this like concept called axis mundi, which is like the world pillar, the world axis is the thing that connects worlds between like heaven and earth and another system ke apa benda ke. So kalau macam if that rift is kind of like an axis mundi and it becomes the gateway, right, that connects that alien system with our planet, macam cool ke? I mean like this could actually Ghidorah, for all you know. And then like semua orang macam, what did you say? And then next thing you know, fast forward 6 months, okay guys, we have the backstory for Monarch ni, so we have to tell the story of Monarch now. Yelah, sebab filem-filem lain tak sempat nak cerita. Itulah GVK kau dah buat Hollow Earth, shit. So where do we insert this? Then we insert in Monarch. Okay ke? Boleh ke? For all you know, that was the conversation over teh tarik and some bihun, equivalent of Hollywood. Like, because I can see it. I can see that conversation happening. Because it makes sense. It just makes sense.
Lepas tu, Mundi boleh sambung semua benda, bro. Lepas tu,
dia boleh sambung semua benda.
Kau boleh macam ada Megazord, kau boleh panggil Megazord. Fuck weh. Megazord, Pacific Rim dengan Godzilla.
And then there will be some dude yang macam I'm with you guys, tapi korang ni dah merepek lepas tu apa, Godzilla keluar, Pacific Rim keluar, lepas ni apa, Alien keluar. Alien tak keluar macam mana? Lepas tu, and then like people will say like, no, Alien nak guna Axis Mundi buat apa? Because the monsters that come out of Axis Mundi are monsters because they can handle that travelling punya ni. Their body, their skin, the fact that they can absorb energy that is in our world, nuclear energy, and then their body makes them resistant to space and time. That's why our bloody missiles are not going to work, our nuclear bombs are not going to work, and it's more of a macam, I think you got it, bro. Faham tak? Like, it just makes perfect sense. So when masa Munif cakap benda ni dalam group dulu lah, like when the series started, aku macam, yeah bro, like I'm just gonna thumbs up, and I'm just gonna do this for every other thing, every other message that he says to explain it, because like preach to the choir, man. I just found this church, I joined, you preach to me. So I think it's perfectly legit, and it's so cool because like the story of Keiko, like kita kata to Axis Mundi. Now I'm thinking Axis Mundi is like a zone that has a lot of accesses. So depending on the energy that you put in to access it, you might not necessarily come out at say Hollywood, at say Kazakhstan. You might come out here or there or whatever, because that thing, is beyond your control. You just have to learn how to ride it. Faham tak? And then in
that happened in the show
of that pintu tu is the ni lah. So like aku rasa macam it's there. The only reason
sebab
why
they entered from Kazakhstan kan.
Yeah, exactly.
They entered from Kazakhstan. Keluar kat Skull Island, betul tak?
Exactly. So kalau macam the only reason why Shaw was able to do that was able to come out at a place where there were people waiting is because he was in that bloody pot, and that pot ada macam coordinates and whatever not. Faham tak? So if this is true, if any of this is true, imagine you get a season of Monarch where they have a character who knows the brains, who figured out how to do that coordinate thing to navigate the pot. Because mamak ni geliga gila lah. But then you have to ask the question, macam mana kau boleh belajar benda ni weh? Then macam, sebenarnya in some lore in Japan, at this particular temple, you have this bloody artifact that this particular priest or this particular church or whatever has been protecting, and that has like a kitab of like, okay, this is what you do, this is the ritual, and then you have to go through here, and then you will be able to exit somewhere there, and then this knowledge has been passed down. And then dia boleh link dengan family Zhang Ziyi yang kata, my family has this dragons ke this monster has been in my family.
Yang jaga morph.
Faham tak? Like
yang jaga morph tu.
Yang jaga morph tu. So you guys macam shit. Wait, the stories are endless. And it's so cool. You can take some random Qing dynasty war yang tiba-tiba mysteriously ended after 7 days and 7 nights. Tiba-tiba semua askar hilang. 14,000 total soldiers disappeared. Bro, everybody was sucked, bro. Got sucked into the Axis Mundi door over there because Godzilla was fighting some 4-legged bat. I don't know. Faham tak?
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Tapi kan there's another thing yang aku actually terfikir lah, sebab since we're discussing the Axis Mundi ni kan, and I know I kind of propose this theory juga that maybe the series was actually used to soft fix and kind of gel the cinematic counterparts together kan. But then bila aku fikir balik, kalau kau tengok Godzilla versus Kong kan, if you look back at GVK, the part where Kong escort diorang and bawa diorang from that Arctic place tu masuk ke Hollow Earth tu, when they transverse that space pun dia macam bukan je jatuh lubang tau, they went through a light show tau kan, dia macam really wonky kan apa tu, baru tunjuk diorang tembus tau. So aku rasa in a way maybe the concept of the Axis Mundi tu was probably even they did plan for it lah. It was kind of there at least in GVK for sure. Sebab kau tengok cara dia travel tu, kau perasan tak? There was a light show when they went to Hollow Earth.
Aku tak ingat I thought the light show is something like an aurora borealis tapi underground.
No, it was crazy. Kau tengok bro, dia macam pergi Alice in Wonderland tu. Memang it's almost like the visuals kau tengok lah Monarch.
I know. Okay, because aurora borealis is just the sky and it's nothing. It's just the sky and then it's magnetic fields interacting and whatever not lah, aku tak terror. But bila benda tu underground, you have to take into account gravity, you have to take account a lot of other factors. So those factors coming together partly created the light. But that was me in wanting to insist that is Hollow Earth. Because aku nak Hollow Earth tu yes, Axis Mundi yang macam kau cakap ni, time space punya ni pun yes, I want both. Kau faham tak? So if them going through that gravitational whatever not to the core of the earth, into the hollow earth, that thing, that light show was the consequence of that.
Electromagnetic fields ke apa.
Magnetic fields, aku macam, but I mean, I know both of us are speculating. So aku rasa macam I just want the hollow earth to be as true as this pocket dimension. Aku je. But
Tapi itulah sekarang ni.
Because for me, GVK was great up until that point. Like up until before dia lawan Mechagodzilla tu, up until that point I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, yo. And then Kong was like, this is a whole new world. He's jumping around, and then when he thought that it felt like Skull Island, until he realized, okay, Skull Island doesn't have this shit. It doesn't have that bloody monster. It doesn't have that bloody lizard, whatever. Then he starts to go, this doesn't feel good. And then he discovers the temple, whatever, big door. So aku like, I want it to be Hollow Earth because I really like that. I just really, really do. And then of course we know what happened, and then they fought at Hong Kong, and then I was like, alah, boring. Why? Dah lah kau buat in that very simplistic way. I feel after the first 2/3 of the show set up the Hollow Earth, the discovery of the Hollow Earth in a very compelling way lah, I would say, kan. So aku rasa macam sayang lah. Tu je pada aku, the GVK.
Faham. Sebab tu lah, that's why I say again, I felt that the series makes the movies better tau. Sebab after watching Monarch kan, with the introduction of the Axis Mandi apa semua ni, sebab sekarang GVK dah ada kat Netflix kan, so tu tengok balik. So bila tengok balik, macam now the weird ass light show when Kong masuk ke Hollow Earth, it makes sense tau. So this was what you guys were transversing through. And then the other thing yang macam aku ada question juga kan, bila you know that aku tak ingat nama spaceship ya, Apex ni spaceship dia orang pakai untuk masuk Hollow Earth tu. Kan dia kata macam, okay, it's just a spaceship. They're gonna withstand some gravitational polarization, whatever. But then kenapa dia ada this energy output sampai boleh jumpstart Kong punya jantung tau? Like what the hell are you kan? Sampai boleh power apa whole cities, whatever. Then aku realise again, bila dah tengok Monarch, they needed high amounts of gamma burst, and then they needed to piggyback a kaiju to break space-time, baru boleh dapat transverse tau. But because technology dah maju, those ships are packing enough wallop to do all that on its own. Tak tu daripada macam tak payah piggyback on kaijus, tak payah nak cari an external gamma burst punya radiation yang kuat. The ship alone packs enough power to do that. So sebab tu the ship tu satu boleh jumpstart jantung Kong. That's why it was macam mula-mula aku fikir, kenapa macam it's just a ship, why is it storing so much energy dalam dia macam tu kan. So now again bila tengok Monarch, that explains it lah. And just finally aku nak sentuh saya Apex one time, sebab kita cakap saya Axis Mandi dengan Apex kan. One of the good things about the Monarch series juga, dia pun makes Apex make sense untuk aku in the movies tau. So masa tengok movies macam, why would you build a giant robot that would, you know, like destroy you guys juga? Macam what's going on? Okay, the fights are cool, aku suka, but kau memang kena otak, kena tinggal kat rumah. Tapi bila kau dah tengok series Monarch and kau dah slowly introduce to Apex, and you also slowly introduce to the liability that Monarch can be sebenarnya, and then kau tengok the whole timeline, macam Mutos, Monarch dah tahu kewujudan dia in 99. Lepas tu Rodan, orang dah tahu Monarch bukan Apex, Monarch tahu kewujudan dia in 91. And then they discovered Monster Zero in 2016, Ghidorah, and then pun dia pun discovered Mothra, and then did not bother to tell a single damn soul. And aku rasa bila Apex, you know, Apex knowing sikap Monarch ni, it's no surprise that they're not gonna cooperate. They're gonna cause the world to fall into disaster. We need to make our own countermeasures. So then it has more nuance or reasoning as to why this tech company would build a Mecha Godzilla in the first place as a deterrent, sebab Monarch tak boleh pakai. But then when GVK came, dia dah jadi over pasal apa? You have all these kaijus, they were building Mecha Godzilla, maybe tak siap lagi, but then all these kaijus kena settle and kena tapau by Godzilla and Mothra kan. Then suddenly they like, kita orang ni nak jadi the numero uno kaiju agency by showcasing how Mechagodzilla can save the world. We can't do that if there are good kaijus keeping the balance, so to speak. So that's why dalam GVK, then they decided, let's use the luring device, the gamma ray burst punya device that we see in Monarch, and provoke Godzilla into attacking our facilities. And then bila nampak kita retaliate and kill it with our Mechagodzilla, then Monarch and Kaiju semua pergi mampus. Everyone will finally depend on Apex, and we will become the Apex Predator then. Semua orang akan dependent to us for safety. Kita akan jadi paling kaya, paling berkuasa in the world. So again, because of the series, how they introduce the devices, how they introduce Apex and the complicated relationship dengan Monarch, it again makes the movies better tau. Seriously, kalau dah habis series ni, kau saja pergi tengok balik some of these monsters, this monster movies maybe yang rating rendah macam King of Monster tak ramai orang suka ke, and then orang banyak kritik the weaknesses of GVK ke, kau tengok balik lepas tengok Monarch, it will change you. You'll feel so much better tau. So that is basically what I'm saying, is that this is how damn good this series is. Bukan saja dia jaga kualiti diri sendiri, it just enhance all these other flawed movies and the cinematic universe as a whole. So good.
Terima kasih Matt Fraction, penulis komik yang sekarang dah next level, dah jadi penulis TV dan menyambungkan franchise filem Monsterverse. Monster baik lah.
Style weh, agak style.
Right. Yeah. Alright, so soalan seterusnya adalah untuk Jamal. Apakah pendapat anda tentang babak terakhir di dalam finale Monarch, di mana kita nampak Apex Industry ni dah jadi pesaing Monarch ya, dan adakah dia bakal memainkan peranan penting di dalam filem GXK, The New Empire nanti? Contohnya yang Kong dapat penumbuk besi tu daripada Apex ke, begitu. So apa pendapat kau tentang Apex Industry? Silakan.
In hindsight, I wish Apex was in GVK. Because
ada bro, ada. Dia orang buat Mechagodzilla bro. Dia orang buat
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, but the thing is, it macam we had Monarch for 2 films. Right? And the first film was about them macam discovering, or rather macam, okay, this is our first proper encounter with Godzilla after it came back.
Film, Godzilla,
Skull,
Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla
and then GVK.
Dah 4
Yeah.
filem kan.
So bila in 2014 when we saw Monarch for the first time, the introduction was them. All right, now we can surface, right? After years of whatever, after Keiko semua tu hilang, okay, now we can surface, and then we can sort of like put ourselves about. We can step into public space, if not get into the public eye. Fine. And then we had Skull Island, where there was like a suggestion of its past and its history, and then we went to King of Monsters, where we go like, okay, now Monarch is actively involved in anything Muto. We saw the huge plane, we saw that submarine, and we go like, yo, you're not like an organization, you're like Cobra, you're like G.I. Joe, man. Like, yo, insane, man. Dia macam G.I. Joe tapi kerja kita orang usah kaiju je, which is like really, really well done, kan? Especially when that plane flying betul rodan semua, macam, oh my god, that was so epic. Anyway, and then tiba-tiba kita dapat Apex dalam GVK. So one thing that is weak about GVK is that they try to juggle so many things because they felt that they had to set up and justify siapa buat Mechagodzilla, everything. And then macam when you have that the black dude yang that conspiracy theories yang kebetulan kerja kat dalam plan tu, they felt that they needed to do a lot of setting up because they never set up Apex before, at least in the open, at least a foreshadowing, none, right? So that's why the film is weak. Sebab tu aku cakap, I wish that Apex in the form of how it was in Monarch was like so in GVK. Instead in GVK, you get a very classic 90s sci-fi action flick punya treatment, where The first half an hour kita introduce hero, kita introduce the organisation that the intro was working with, so that kita nampak the dynamics and the conflicts yang akan jadi antara hero dengan organisation ni. And then in act 2, tada, the big bad organisation that this hero was hired to fight in the first place. Macam tu je. So that was how Apex was introduced in GVK. So in a way it cheapened the first 3 films of Monarch punya nice slow reveal in the opening sequence, in the closing sequence, in the flashbacks. Apex GVK Park dia letak macam tu je. So it was like
they tried to keep Mecha secret, tu silap dia. They tried to hide the Mecha Godzilla, nak surprise. So as a result Apex pun jadi dia kena sorok sekali lah jadi. So tu lah.
So aku rasa the bounty hunters yang diketuai oleh Charles Dance is supposed to represent Apex in the earlier movies. Kan ada bounty hunter yang curi Dora punya kepala lah apalah, you know.
Yeah. Now, the theory will be fine if, say for example, kan aku cakap tadi this Monarch should have been 7 episodes instead of 8. Like one episode of Monarch sets up Apex like that. Meaning sets up Apex like
that. That'd been great.
So that is not, faham tak? So while I love that speculation because then everything will just be tied up together, but that's not the case lah. So sekarang ni that's how I feel about Apex in here, because it feel in Monarch, because in Monarch it feels like you still haven't quite figured out how to introduce Apex. That's how I felt. Like in terms of the idea of the organization, it's great. I love the fact that that female operator, the one that hired May, I think she was characterized very well. She was written very well, even though her scenes were not quite important, not revealing enough, and tak cukup sinister. But you get the feel that this lady, she's gonna come back and she's gonna be a huge problem to people. She's just too smooth, too smart, too rich, too prepared. You know, you just felt that, kan? And then benda-benda tu ada, tapi kita tak cukup, tak dapat cukup. So now, I'm imagining if we had seen a bit more of this, or rather more of this in GVK, and then let's just say speculation, bila May had and then nampak benda, dia bukan setakat nampak Godzilla atau Kaiju, dia nampak Mecha Godzilla, and then she goes like, wait, so Godzilla ni real ke tidak sebenarnya ni? Sebab apa benda ni Mecha Godzilla ni? So then it becomes like whoa, Easter egg, ja. But we did not get that. So moving past all that, I feel that is where Apex is. Like I said, I like Monarch because it is a huge human presence in the form of an organization that in a story becomes in a story has enough weight to go against Godzilla as a character. So Godzilla is a protagonist. Monarch doesn't have to be the antagonist, but it can be a character that has almost equal and enough weight to Godzilla. Jadi baru Godzilla as a character, bila you tulis cerita ni, barulah dia ada push and pull, barulah ada interaction, barulah ada dynamics. Because otherwise, because a film needs characters, and the interaction between characters creates has dynamics, and it creates conflict. Conflict provides you drama. You need drama. So bila you buat cerita pasal Kaiju, and Kaiju tu you tak ada karakter, you nak buat konflik macam mana, you have to take what the Kaiju represents, which is terror, destruction, man losing its hold on this world after discovering that there is something that is beyond their power and beyond their physical abilities. So if you want to have man becoming an equal to Godzilla as a character, it has to be in a large organization, which what Monarch is. So now Monarch is justified to exist. Kenapa kita kena ada organisasi macam Monarch? This is the reason why. So when you have that organization in a state of turmoil or identity or soul searching, kan? And then at the end of the series, you campak Apex. Hi guys. You remember that, company that May worked for? Yeah, actually it's like a tech company yang macam sebenarnya Elon Musk tiba-tiba dapat an extra $47 billion from God knows who, and he goes like, you know what, I want to go to the moon, I want to make trips to the moon, I want to go to Mars. Hey, guess what? Now I'm in Kaiju business as well. It's pretty cool. Then you ada macam shit. Monarch started on the right foot with Keiko and Randa and Lee Shaw, and Apex is just some stupid corporate, evil corporate whatever tech people yang macam I just want to make money, I just want to get profit, and then this is a huge opportunity because we have the capability that no other tech company has. Then Monarch yang tengah figure out how do we match up to Godzilla as another character in the series has to figure out in its state of soul searching how to deal with Apex. So this is what I like about Apex in Monarch punya TV series ni. I feel like it could have been introduced better, yes, but what it represents is this. Tu yang aku petik awal-awal tadi aku petik. I don't like how Apex was in GVK. Because imagine if the same amount of care was given to in terms of introducing Apex in GVK, like how we got Monarch in 2014 Godzilla, into Skull Island, into Godzilla King of Monsters. Imagine how we feel when we were watching this film and we were introduced to May and go like, alah, awak ni apa you punya trauma, apa backstory you yang you dah lari pergi Jepun. Oh shit, dia kerja untuk Apex. Faham tak? That should have been our reaction when we knew that she worked for Apex. And then and then bila kita ingat balik, oh no. So yang kau hack, yang kau nampak bapak Kentaro punya hard disk tu was when you was working with Apex? Shit. Jadi bila kau buka tu, kau dah dapat Apex dah buat Mechagodzilla punya schematics. Bro, what the nampak tak? Imagine how we were feeling. And then you will start having viewers yang macam, oh, aku team May sebab benda ni lagi cool pada aku. Aku team Kate sebab macam, I want, like resolution and reconciliation, family, da. And then like, yo, aku team Keiko because like this dynamic. Then you get people watching the series for very different reasons, but because it was done so well, you don't care. Because macam, oh, kau suka Keiko, aku harap dia orang jaga kau punya interest suka Keiko, because if that storyline, that plot line jadi best, that means it will also means all these other storyline atau plot line pun jadi best juga. So that's how what I felt Apex represented in this Monarch, but didn't quite get there. Even though the pieces were there, May could have been portrayed better, given thought out more. The lady character leader, I forgot her name, was well done. But Apex in totality really came through towards the end, episode 5, 6 onwards, baru nampak macam prominent role. Kalau tidak sebelum tu macam they're only there because we need to tell May's story. Even then kau macam makan episode 3, 4, 5. Tak, you didn't really go further kan. So imagine kalau macam contoh, one of the French lady in Monarch sebenarnya a double agent for Apex because she is planted in Monarch to steal technology to pull out to Apex, because this black lady figured out Monarch ni yang siapa tak apa, sebab kita kaya, I will plant you there like how I planted a few other double agents in many other conglomerates and technology companies and countries and governments. Faham tak? You imagine that, and then nama organisation ni Apex. Gila kau. We are the apex of humanity. Kenapa? Kita berjaya tundukkan a kaiju that has come through Axis MUNDI. Now, that shit is insane. Because now, you will need a Monarch at its peak to pair up with Kong and Godzilla to go like, we need to take that shit down. Because they might just be summoning Ghidorah from Axis MUNDI to be like Apex. Like, there's so many ways you can go about this lah. But that is the idea behind it that I feel macam, didn't quite get there. But they did not fumble it. They did not do it bad, faham tak? Because nothing is revealed about Apex yet. So if this next film is Apex taking a more prominent role and then Monarch trying to find where do we fit in all this, and then what do we need to do in response to Apex trying to grab a foothold of this whole kaiju war / business or field, then it might just be compelling. Because it gives a big excuse for Keiko to make a prominent appearance continuously in future films and in the second season. It gives a lot of justification to Monarch the series and all the characters that was introduced there. Dia jadi more wholesome lah. And then imagine kita lupa pasal Kate, kita lupa pasal Kentaro, and then they go like, wow, so this was what my mom started, right? No, this was what my nenek started. And my whatever ni father, and that stupid old man Shaw macam, wow, we are way in over us. And then you go like, so what's your character arc now? What are you going to do about this? Then it becomes wholesome. because they could just be the very people that reminds Keiko before she makes a huge mistake that we don't get what you do, but this is what we know. Then macam, shit, family moment, which apparently is the selling point for Gojira -1, because they are telling the story from how the family is reacting to Gojira appearing for the first time. So Gojira kena buat something, kalau tidak family tu tak ada reaction. So then Gojira adalah action dia. Sebab bila Gojira buat satu benda, family tu react, it affects the family, then the family takes a united decision atau akan ada conflict within the family, semua in response to whatever Godzilla is doing. So that was very clever from a writing perspective. They did it without Monarch. Cuma dia punya unit is not Monarch, dia punya unit adalah family. A smaller unit, but because it's smaller, it's easier for you to make character punya interactions. So this is what I feel about the ending lah. Aku rasa macam there's a lot of promise for an IP that we never thought we wanted. Faham tak? We would have been happy with like, yeah, you can do like 3 Godzilla films and then in 17 years you just reboot it again for the next big upcoming Zack Snyder director and then repeat that shit another time. You know, we would have been happy with that. You know, to be able to look back 25 years and go like, hey, we got 6 Godzilla films over 2 franchises. You know, we would have been happy, but no, because Feige did his shit. Disney made it into a business model. Now everybody is running off to do their own cinematic universes. And guess what? This little one, well, not little, is finding their feet, and it seems to be getting the right idea about how they want to go about doing it. And that's pretty cool, you know? Kalau kita kat US, we will be buying the toys already for all I know. You know? So So kita macam, yeah man. So like this is great. It's a monster. It's a kaiju series. There is nothing to be like, it's just monsters, you know. So macam, no, it's not just monsters. Like the entire 8 episodes is about Monarch, and it's like the entire 8 episodes plus the first 4 films are all about Monarch. And when you look back, whoever thought of Monarch macam, yeah, you have done Monarch justice lah. You know, it might not be the best, but hey, it's definitely not bad at all. It's at least a 75% out of 100, if not 80, which is A in most cases. So cool lah. Like this is what I like about it. And Apex has a very nice name. Monarch has a very conceptual name to it. Kan, there's an idea behind it, right? Monarch, like it doesn't connect you immediately to kaijus and monsters and whatever not, but you kind of know like, monarchy, king. Faham tak? You start going there. Apex is very simple. Apex, the top. The X becomes very technological, very macam, you know, that kind of sound. Yeah. So it's like
Twitter.
Faham tak?
Macam like, Monarch tu royalty, kerajaan. Tapi
Apex
adalah ni predator, pembunuh.
Predator, yeah, exactly. So macam kau bayangkan, two films away sebenarnya, diorang ni tengah sembang, okay, like 2 films from now, it will be Godzilla, Monarch versus Apex. Like macam, apa random benar ni? But macam, yeah man. So like, I know I'm riffing off here, but that is how excited watching the series made me feel. Macam, hey, this is pretty cool, man. I'm gonna strap in for the ride.
Basically, aku rasa Matt Fraction when he came to this, bila dia nak kena jadi jambatan to 4 movies, dia perasan satu benda tau. Dia perasan yang family. Pasal kalau kau tengok back to Godzilla 2014, there was Dr. Ishiro Serizawa, and by the time kau sampai ke GVK, Pukimak yang control Mecha Godzilla tu adalah anak kepada Serizawa. So it's also about family, walaupun it took 4 films to get there. And even yang penjaga Mothra tu, the twins, it's continually, if you go back kepada zaman Toho pun, it's always been twins. So element family tu memang dah ada in the 4 films, but Matt Fraction just made it multi-generational family storytelling. So wow, memang gila babi tu, memang gila babi. Alright, aku rasa dengan itu berakhirlah 3 poin menarik, masa 2 jam. But kita akan ke segmen kita yang seterusnya. Apakah rating anda untuk siri Monarch Legacy of Monsters? Personally pada aku, it's one of the best TV series of 2023, and I would rate it easily like 8.5/10. So kita pergi ke Munif pula, kaki kaiju kita. Silakan.
Bagiku it's Aku nak kata it's the best. Itu otak aku terus pop up moving. Sial betul. So it's definitely up there, a close top 2 dengan dengan moving lah bagi aku. It's also juxtaposed lah, helped by the fact that there's a lot of trash juga yang gelar masa last year, TV series especially. So but whatever, not talking about that. On this series itself, and kau nak kata dia punya flaws tu ada, tapi yang ada tu pun is not the ones that bother me. This not macam echo completely power lain macam tu jadi bodoh whatever. Yang ni macam okay. Macam tadi Nick cakap lah, dia punya father tu macam misteri-misteri tu macam gitu je, macam could have been better. Doesn't really bother me. Lepas tu orang kata tak ada pun kaiju fight. So aku macam tak banyak. We have one epic one at the end. Doesn't bother me. So it's not false advertising. Dia pun dah cakap what the show is about. So the only thing yang aku betul-betul tak suka is that masa that kita nak tengok San Fran punya flashback tu, dia overlay with those macam LGBT stuff whatever kan. So piss off. It's a damn near perfect series for me, and ditambah lah dengan kaiju bias aku lagi, admittedly. So it is a strong 9.5 out of 10 lah. In fact, kalau maybe tak ada those lesbo stuff, and maybe dia epic lagi cara dia resolution macam bapak dia punya story, and then maybe dia tak mendiring sangat, tak a bit draggy here and there, dia memang could have easily been 10 out of 10. In fact, for all I care, dengan dia punya opening team dia pun best. Kau nak criticize yang tu pun tak boleh. Semua benda best pasal ni kan. So it's a damn near perfect series for me. Definitely 9.5 out of 10. Ikut mood aku could have easily been a 10 out of 10 even. So good. I cannot wait for season 2. I know there will be a season 2.
Alright, seterusnya silakan Jamal, rating kau.
8.8.
Nice. Alright guys.
Apa tu? Komen. Kau tak nak komen, kau tayang je.
Aku tayang je. Alright guys, so kita dah habis bincangkan 3 plot menarik daripada musim pertama Monarch.
Aku macam nak komen. Aku nak komen benda tu, tapi aku bukan nak elaborate panjang-panjang lah. Because I feel, this is what I feel. Agenda is one thing, I agree. Sometimes they try to put it in your face, and benda ni kita takkan boleh faham, dan aku takkan try nak faham sebab benda ni adalah siri-siri daripada Amerika. So apa benda yang bergolak di arena politik, sosiopolitik kat sana akan memberi kesan yang mendalam kepada production dan cerita yang diorang tayangkan. Aku faham. No comment. So kadang-kadang aku tak suka. That being said, you know, bila kau buat cerita, contoh cerita pendekar awang ke, cerita kungfu ke, cerita robot ke apa benda ke, and then kau buat dua manusia yang straight, yang heterosexual, sempat lagi nak cium, sempat lagi nak main, sempat lagi nak romance, ada romance, ada cinta-cintun, itu boleh pula. Padahal dalam konteks cerita tu, bro, tengah perang bro, mana ada sempat? Bro, Optimus Prime tengah lawan dengan Megatron, mana sempat? Tapi itu okey pula. Tapi pada bila kita tengok ada agenda-agenda ni yang senang untuk mengacau perhatian kita menggunakan alasan ni agenda untuk mengenepikan benda tu. Lepas tu kata tak payahlah nak mengunyit apa benda semua. Dan kalau macam tu kau kena fair juga bila ada cerita perang, tak payahlah nak romance, tak payahlah tengok awet tu macam alamak aku lonely, tak payah ada benda tu. Buat cerita perang je lah. Faham tak? But no for drama lah, interaction lah, apa benda lah. So sekarang ni, if you look at it from that perspective, and this story is not from Malaysia pun, ni daripada Hollywood, dan benda tu penting pada diorang, yang kita tak setuju, dan kita tak payah debate benda tu. Semua orang setuju yang benda tu kita tak suka. So pada diorang, bila diorang rasa macam, okey lah, dah macam 100 lebih tahun filem, sikit-sikit ada drama, ada cinta-cintun. So sekarang ini pun cinta-cintun juga, cuma bezanya sekarang benda-benda representation ni lebih ketara pada mereka. Jadi daripada kita buat lelaki cium lelaki atau perempuan cium perempuan, aku nak buat apa saja? Aku nak buat macam mana saja? Itu dah kau pembikin cerita, kau nak letak benda tu. So bila jadikan benda tu flaw, nampaklah pada aku macam kau nak sembang series dan cerita ni ke kau nak sembang benda tu? Benda tu kita tak pandang lah. Benda tu tak kacau plot langsung pun. Kalau dia kacau plot, then it becomes a thing lah. But it did not kacau the plot. You know, it did not have to be there. Similarly, kalau ada jiwang, it did not have to be there too. You know, so kadang-kadang aku rasa macam this is not that comment specifically, but going on to Reddit and just seeing how people generally comment about say K-dramas and all that, macam I know, I get it, benda tu jelak sial, kau nak tayang tenyih depan muka orang, tapi macam I think you can be a bit more objective about it, especially if it means nothing so much to you, it doesn't mean anything at all to you. You know, it should be easier for you to disregard that and help you be more objective in like, oh, so this is what this series is trying to do. That's how I feel lah. Sebab kadang-kadang macam, oh, benda ni best, tapi ada benda ni. Then kau tengok, buat apa? Faham tak? Kau dah tahu dah benda tu ada. Kau tengok, buat apa? Buat apa kau bazir masa kau? You know? So, dia akan jadi gaduh retorik. Jadi aku rasa tak best. But that's all lah. Benda kecil je, tak ada apa pun.
Aku rasa itu satu lubang yang lebih besar daripada Hollow Earth.
Jangan guna perkataan lubang, sebab peluang topan bersepah di situ.
Aku rasa itu satu black hole yang lagi besar daripada
Tengok mungkin ni. Tak, aku rasa aku nak metafora lagi sikit. Lubang tu adalah satu aksis MUNDI kepada satu dunia kepuasan yang kita tak boleh bayangkan. Happy?
Ya, kita itu perbincangan lain. Kita akan buat
I'm
lain.
not bloody interested in that.
Perbincangan itu, ya.
Ya. Aku macam ni je. Dah belum? Dah? Okay, sambung. Kaiju!
Sekarang akan membaca berapa komen Aku rasa 20 komen terpilih daripada penonton selama 2 jam 30 minit ni. Alright, so kita akan jawab soalan-soalan korang sekarang. Haikal bertanya, lari tajuk sikit, Godzilla -1 bila nak masuk Malaysia? Betul ke bajet dia 15 juta je? Jawapan dia bajet dia hanyalah 15 juta dan jawapan dia takkan masuk Malaysia pasal dia tak masuk seluruh Asia Tenggara. Aku tak tahu kenapa orang kata ada elemen Jepun dan Jepun menindas Asia Tenggara. Aku tak faham.
Sensitivity.
Siapa-siapa nak komen? Silakan.
Okay, ni apa yang aku baca macam online lah. Kesahihan dia, take it with a pinch of salt. Tapi apparently banyak Asian Pacific governments macam dia, sebab in a way kita tahu the protagonist is a kamikaze punya pilot lah, yang dia desert the military, dia tak jadi nak kamikaze lah sekali. So dia berkata macam there's a problem with them actually humanizing these guys, tentera Jepun ni, which are actually monsters yang datang rape, pillage and destroy negara orang. So because of that, banyak these Asian countries, these Pacific countries or negara-negara yang affected, mereka tak nak tunjuk, which is interesting sebab US is one of the few country yang selamba je tunjuk, and dia orang lagi directly berperang dengan Jepun. So I don't know whether that's true or not. I could definitely have read a few articles kata pasal that sensitivity, so korang humanize the evil Japanese punya army dulu. Dok buat cerita sedih, dok buat cerita humanity, dok buat cerita terharu by these fuckers who came and like wreck the world lah dulu, or the Pacific specifically. So that was what I read lah, tak tahulah. Macam US voting itulah dia.
Kau tahu dekat US dia nak keluar balik versi black and white, bro. Kau dah tunjuk full run in colour. Sekarang kau nak buat black and white, lepas tu dia orang masuk Oscars lagi. Aku macam, kenapa tak dapat Malaysia lah babi? Kenapa tak dapat Malaysia? Aku rasa datuk aku yang masa Perang Dunia Kedua tu, dia pun okey kalau aku tengok Godzilla -1. Okay, kita tak cerita benda tu. Alright, seterusnya Ghost 08 bertanya, is there a season 2? Setakat ini Apple TV Plus masih tidak mengumumkan secara rasmi sama ada akan ada Monarch Legacy of Monsters season 2 ataupun tidak. InsyaAllah akan ada, tapi tengoklah, kita kena tunggulah. Ya, silakan.
Ni aku nak tambah sikit. Actually continuation daripada apa yang Jamal cakap tadi, aku agree lah, which is that I wish we saw more of Apex, or the perfect build up yang mereka buat untuk Monarch with something equivalent for Apex. So aku punya otak sekarang yang tengah penuh dengan positive thought sebab Monsterverse sekarang ni, tengah rather berharapnya speculation lah, so to speak. Sebab kita tahu the series Monarch ni dia banyak cakap saya duality juga tau. The original trio, the trio baru, lepas tu macam the safety of individuals that over the safety of the world, and bapa Kentaro pun dia nak save the world but abaikan dia punya little family. There's this duality kan. So aku fikir kalau dia nak buat season 2, yang aku harap dia buat season 2, the way they ended the series, it could be Skull Island / Apex centric, and maybe then Apex akan dapat the build up they deserve. And here's the thing, duality kan, it could be the seasons pun jadi reflect that duality of the IP tau, which is the first season is Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. The second season could be Apex, the future of monsters. You never know. Kalau dia buat something itu memang aku macam let's go. Besides, kau fikir balik, all the main characters from season 1, they're now at Apex. So there must be a season 2, and they must be Apex related, and it should be Apex related sebab diorang sekarang ni it ended at 2017. King of Monsters jadi masa 2019. 2016 by now dalam Monarch punya universe ni depa dah jumpa lagi dorang. So I really want to see what was Apex doing in the whole King of Monsters punya mess, and maybe pasal King of Monsters tu lah yang buat dia orang trigger macam we need our own effing kaiju as a deterrent. Dah melebih-lebih tau. This shit's crazy kan. And we're not gonna sit here and accept extinction. We are cancelling the apocalypse. Satu dia pun buat Mecha Godzilla.
Betul. And panggil balik Charles
Season
Dance untuk jadi pemburu tu. Charles Dance.
Yeah. Harap-harap. And more anak Serizawa tu tak develop langsung. If we are doing Apex before Godzilla versus Kong, so hopefully kita nampak another family tinggi-tinggi. Bapa aku kerja Apex, kerja Monarch abaikanku apa semua. So instead of Kentaro, dia pun very baik, innocent, wholesome, nak the family bersatu balik, I will forgive you but still my dad, yada-yada. Yang anak Serizawa tu Monarch abai kan, Apex. Siap kau. Dia lagi tunjuk toxic punya dynamic pula kan. So many possibilities season 2. So many possibilities.
Apex Cybernetics, tak sabar. Alright, seterusnya Ghost 08 bertanya, what is the name of the two new monsters in the series Monarch? Okay, so basically kita ada callback, kita ada Mother Longlegs which was the spider, yang tu was from the King of the Monsters. Tapi the two new monsters,
Kumonga.
The two new monsters are created by Matt Fraction punya anak, which is Mental Claw, the crab, and also Frostvark, the star-nosed
Frostvark.
Yeah. So kalau the Frostvark,
aku rasa dengan the Iron Dragon lah. Tapi aku nak sentuh sikit pasal Frostvark bro. And aku rasa kalau korang semua cukup minat dengan Godzilla, korang pun lepas keluar trailer New Empire tu, I'm pretty sure korang pun dah nampak all the leaks and all the action figures. Kau kata ada the first kaiju Shimu yang membekukan dunia lah, benda semua kan. Aku dia, and actually masa aku tengok Frostvark ni, aku tak tengok the new Godzilla punya trailer tu. So masa episode Frostvark ni keluar, and dia pun painstakingly explain dia punya powers, which aku find interesting. Mereka ingat dia just bekukan benda, so they could have left it at that. It just frost breath, whatever kan. Macam tak ada masalah pun sebenarnya. Tapi dia pun explain, bukan, dia macam dia sebenarnya dia serap heat. So tapi by way of eating heat, that's how they freeze benda. Sebab benda tu jadi tinggal tak ada temperature tau. So I feel that why they were kind of painstakingly in detail cuba nak explain that ability, this could be a prelude to making more sense of Shimu kalau dia muncul dalam New Empire ni. Ni speculation aku lah pasal Frostvark.
Yes, tak sabar nak tengok Shimu dalam GVK tahun ni. Alright, seterusnya Psycho's Rules bertanya, antara Wyatt Russell dan Kurt Russell, siapakah yang bawa watak Lee Shaw lebih berkesan?
I will not commit to this question because dua fasa yang berbeza, dua fasa hidup yang berbeza.
Betul.
Jadi dia bukan perbandingan yang setara. Jadi kalau kita dah kata tapi bapa dia bapak dia punya lakonan macam slow sikit. Yalah, dia dah tua. Dan dia dah spend berapa tahun kat dalam old folks home tu mengenangkan apa yang berlaku. Kalau kata macam, tapi masa dia muda tak best sangat, dia macam tak banyak cakap. Because macam aku cakap tadi, he was a character that only discovered himself or learned that who he wants to be as a person after meeting Keiko and working with Randa to do this Monarch punya project. Jadi bukan dua watak yang berbeza, tetapi dua perwatakan yang berbeza kerana masing-masing berada di peringkat hidup yang lain. Dan apabila di peringkat hidup yang lain-lain ni, dia punya motivasi, dia punya perjuangan, dia punya perilaku semua tu semua lain. So it's not a fair ni lah. But kalau nak compare setakat lakonan, keberkesanan lakonan sebagai pelakon bukan dari perbandingan watak, I think I feel that the Sun punya performance was understated. Dia macam tak tunjuk banyak sangat, tapi kalau kau tengok betul-betul mata dia, gerak bahu dia, bila dia tengok Keiko macam dari jauh, Keiko dengan Randa ada something, ataupun bila dia tengok dan dia sedar macam okey lah, Keiko ni bukan jodoh aku lah. Kau kena tengok benda-benda yang subtle macam tu. Dan untuk bapak dia pula, kau kena tengok momen-momen di mana bila dia ada bila dia berdepan dengan revelation atau momen besar dalam hidup dia, bila dia jumpa Keiko balik. Kau tengok mata dia macam meliar tau, macam dia dah berapa puluh tahun tak tengok Keiko. Jadi bila dia first tengok Keiko, mata dia pergi tengok pipi, pergi tengok dia entire face. So that was quite realistic, that was quite nice. And then that one moment bila dia tengah pegang sebelum dia melayang tu, mata dia pandangan dia tajam. So kau kena tengok benda-benda macam tu lah. Tapi benda-benda tu subtle. And aku rasa kalau aku tak tahu kau dah tengok Kurt Russell masa dia berlakon apa? Escape from LA semua tu cerita
New York, Escape from LA.
So kalau kau tak pernah tengok cerita-cerita lama dia, kau tak boleh nak bayangkan macam mana lakonan dia sekarang. Dan kalau kau nak base lakonan dia sekarang dengan contohnya Guardians of the Galaxy 2, macam that's not a good choice. Sebab I won't say he folded in, tapi
kau kena tengok Big Trouble in Little China.
Little Trouble in Little China. And then Lee Shaw, dan aku rasa Lee Shaw pula kalau kau dah tengok apa nama ni, Captain America and Winter Soldier, mungkin Falcon and Winter Soldier, mungkin kau akan rasa dia lebih menonjol kat situ. Tapi watak tu adalah watak yang memerlukan dia membuat banyak aksi-aksi fizikal. Jadi kat sini kita kena belajar appreciate benda-benda subtle yang dia buat. Di mana kau kena tengok momen Lee Shaw dengan Keiko, Lee Shaw tengok Keiko dengan Bill, lepas tu Lee Shaw dia macam dia tengah layan budak-budak tu, tapi sebenarnya kepala dia duk fikir macam mana aku nak masuk balik Axis Mundi nak jumpa Keiko ni. Kau kena cari momen-momen macam tu.
Setuju. They both stand out for the evolution of a character through time.
They both, dan itu kita kena bagi pujian kepada penulis lah, di mana penulis memberikan mereka watak dan cerita yang bukan mencabar tetapi yang membawa bakat mereka keluar, dan diorang boleh lakonkan benda tu mengikut apa yang skrip tu nak. So and they had the chops, they get to show it. Tapi dia subtle roles lah. Dia bukan roles yang nampak dia ada moment yang dia kena lompat ke, tak ada.
Alright, seterusnya Wan Faris berkatakan Godzilla -1 tercalon untuk Best Visual Effect for Oscar lawan dengan Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Creator. Any comments from the panelists? Macam mana nak komen? Kita tak tengok
lagi bang.
Tapi aku harap The Creator menang lah. Pasal The Creator has evolved how you do VFX, how you keep the budget down 90 million ke 80 million je. So aku harap The Creator menang supaya semua studio belajar daripada The Creator.
Aku punya komen
The Creator ke? Sebab dia ada bahasa dalam movie dia.
Aku rasa ada kelompongan dalam creator punya VFX sama macam kelompongan di belakang kepala watak-watak dia tu. Jadi aku rasa aku dah cakap something je. Kita orang tak tengok Godzilla -1 tu dah terkena calon. Kalau kita orang tengok confirm menang. So dia nak keep it fair. Sebab tu kita nak tengok lagi.
Betul. Alright, seterusnya Wan Faris
Gila.
menambah. Munif baca tak Godzilla vs Kong vs Justice League yang dah keluar dekat DC Comics hari tu? Munif, silakan Munif.
Yang ni bila aku tengok Aquaman dia summon demi sea monster pergi nak lawan Godzilla underwater semua tu, aku macam percayalah aku tengah menahan diri aku gila-gila babi daripada baca ni sebab it's still ongoing. Aku ironically tak suka menunggu. So demi tak menunggu isu-isu baru, so aku pun menunggu sampai dia lengkap dulu. Dah habis semua keluar, baru aku baca. Kau jangan risau.
Terbaik. Alright, seterusnya Psycho Drews bertanya, adakah second act Lee Shaw hijack Monarch dan letupkan lubang-lubang tu sebab berharap yang Keiko tidak akan keluar? Sebab masa diorang jumpa, Lee tak sanggup tengok Keiko. I don't think he even realise Keiko was dead.
Yes, dia tak sedar pun Keiko tu hidup lagi. Jadi bila dia nak letupkan tu, pada dia benda decision nak letupkan tu datang daripada pengalaman dia sendiri termasuk kat dalam tu, lepas tu keluar balik and then dan dia menyedari yang apabila dia masuk dalam tu waktu lain. Waktu berjalan dalam in a different way. And then macam masa tu dia dah redha yang Keiko tu dah mati. Dia dah move on dah, Bill dah jadi gemuk dah dan sebagainya. So dan dia tak expect yang dia akan masuk balik dalam tu. Sebab tu momen dia jumpa Keiko tu kena strong dan dia segan nak tengok Keiko dulu. Sebab bila dia termasuk kat bawah tu dan dia macam alamak aku tak nak turun balik sebab tu aku nak letupkan dulu, tapi aku termasuk juga, damn it. Lepas tu bila dia dah masuk, agak-agak aku jumpa Keiko tak? Oh shit, jap, kalau aku jumpa Keiko dan kalau Keiko hidup lagi, sebab apa? Dia teringat, lah bila aku kat dalam ni waktu berjalan dengan perlahan. So ada peluang nak jumpa Keiko balik ni. And then betul sungguh jumpa Keiko. Jadi bila dia jumpa Keiko tu, dia macam, dia kena acknowledge benda tu. Sebab apa? Keiko dah jumpa cucu dia, Keiko dah jumpa Mei kan. So Keiko macam, korang dua je ke? Oh, korang dengan ni ke? And then macam, oh, korang kenal tak Lee Shaw? So, dan dia kenalah respon kan. Jadi bila dia jawab, suara dia tak berubah sangat. Dan Keiko dengar suara dia buat kali pertama, dia dengar suara Keiko balik buat kali pertama after a long time. Dia kena prepare diri dia. Bukan untuk dia jumpa Keiko saja, tapi dia kena prepare yang bila Keiko nampak dia, apa pasal kau dah tua? Apa pasal kau bukan Lee yang dulu? Apa yang dah berlaku ni? Aku dah ada cucu, apa cerita ni? Nampak tak? So, kerana dia sayangkan kat Keiko, dia terkenang semua benda ni, tu yang dia relax dulu. Dia tak sanggup nak jumpa Keiko sebab macam mana aku dah jumpa ni? Bukan tak sanggup, aku nak jumpa macam mana? Lalas, dia jumpa. Tu yang bila dia jumpa dia pegang muka Keiko macam tu. So that is the character punya ni lah. So benda tu cukup sifat lah. Just nice. Benda yang character reaction yang patut ada. Reaction tu semula jadi. Benda yang dia cakap tak pelik. Dan Keiko punya lakonan mantap di mana dia dalam watak stoik dia tu menunjukkan dia struggle nak simpan emosi yang dia tengah lalu yang berkecamuk time tu. Lala dia duduk je sebab apa dah tua. So itulah yang berlaku.
Ya, sad but true. Alright, soalan seterusnya daripada Sifudin yang bertanya, adakah Hiroshi Randa dan Ichigo Serizawa related? Jawapannya tidak. Basically Dr. Ishiro Serizawa, lakonan Ken Watanabe daripada Godzilla tahun 2014, merupakan satu homage kepada filem-filem Toho Godzilla zaman dulu. It's based on dua watak, iaitu Dr. Serizawa dan juga Ishiro Honda. So basically dia gabungkan Ishiro Honda dengan Dr. Serizawa tu menjadi Dr. Ishiro Serizawa masa diadaptkan for the American market. But aku suka teori Munif yang bahawa storyline Hiroshi Randa dengan Ishiro Serizawa ni dia macam sejajar, tapi seorang belah Monarch, seorang sebelah Apex. Generasi pelapis tu macam benci, macam fuck you father, fuck you, I will fuck you up real good. Lepas tu dia pergi join Apex Cybernetics. Macam tu lah abang nak tengok. Tak sabar. Alright, seterusnya Hu bertanya, talking about season 2, will it still be called Monarch as the title?
Ah,
I hope
ni
it will be called
speculation
Apex.
aku tadi.
Yeah,
Apex,
Cybernetics.
Future of
Yeah.
Monsters.
Barulah kau ada flip side
Duality.
duality. The past
Aku fikir
and
Apex kan, tapi aku tak Future of Monsters. Aku tak macam Maker of Worlds.
Wow.
Pun boleh. Catchy tagline.
Just jangan bawa Habibi tu lah. Aku tak nak Habibi tu, memang bingung siang daripada internal tu. Pakau lah.
Aku minta satu je. Tolonglah revive balik watak Korean pilot tu. Dia screen time dia sikit je, tapi memorable lah dia.
Sekarang ni Brie Larson dengan Tom Hiddleston ni, bagaimana?
Betul.
Ada lah tu. Kalau ada Brie Larson dengan Tom Hiddleston, nanti panel ni jadi 3 orang. Hadi kena ada. Tak ada kena langsung.
Alright, seterusnya Fat Kipuloki bertanya. Since we know that Lee Shaw ialah Mr. Nobody, pada beberapa panelis, adakah kematian dia hanyalah misterius semata-mata? Lepas tu bagaimana dia tahu banyak sangat pasal Godzilla? I think because he's been at Monarch since day one. Apa pendapat kau?
He was day one. Kalau kau perasan, masa dia buat laporan kepada dia punya komander tu, dia buat masa it's just dia dan komander dia. Keiko dengan Bill tak ikut. Dia bagi report Keiko dengan Bill, lepas tu komander dia sembang dengan dia. Jadi kalau siapa-siapa yang dah bekerja ni, yang dah biasa situasi kau kena present kat kau punya boss, kau nak goreng macam mana pun, kita mana boleh goreng kalau tak ada bahan masakan kan. Jadi tak nak Lee kena tahulah sedikit sebanyak, kena fahamlah sedikit sebanyak apa yang Keiko buat, apa yang Bill buat, dia setuju ke tak setuju, dia kena akui dia punya ilmu tak cukup, tapi dia fahamlah apa dia nak buat. Jadi sebab dia boleh buat report dekat dia punya commander. So macam mana dia tahu banyak sangat, macam itulah cara dia. Tetapi yang bestnya, dan benda ni realistik, di mana bila kita tengok nampak Lee yang dah tua ni, dia bila it is revealed yang dia nak pergi letupkan the Axis Mandi punya entrance points tu, itu nampaklah kejahilan dia punya ignorance, sebab ilmu dia sampai takat tu je. Dia tak tahu pun benda tu boleh letupkan ke tidak, boleh tutup ke tidak, sebab dia bukan saintis. So nampak tak? Apa yang dia tahu adalah apa yang dia tahu sejak dulu, until dia kena hantar ke rumah orang tua, dan dia tak boleh buat apa dah, sebab dia tak ada akses kepada segala Godzilla, segala report baru-baru semua ni. Jadi bila dia dalam kederat dia nak stop Godzilla ni once and for all, kita letupkan je pintu tu, lubang tu. Tak, Lee, kau tak tahu apa-apa pun, benda tak boleh jalan macam tu.
Military solution.
So itu menunjukkan kejahilan dia lah. So dia tak adalah tahu sangat pun. Apa yang dia tahu adalah apa yang dia ingat daripada dulu, dan apa yang budak-budak ni cakap. Tu je. So fair lah, realistik lah benda tu.
Betul. Alright, so soalan seterusnya daripada Nameless adalah, apakah timeline Monarch sebelum Godzilla vs Kong? Jawapan dia adalah ya, kerana siri Monarch Legacy of Monsters berlaku setahun selepas Godzilla 2014. So dalam in-universe it was tahun 2015. Kemudian mereka kembali ke bumi pada tahun 2017, 2 tahun sebelum Godzilla King of Monsters. Ya, so ada banyak lagi storyline ni. Kita nak kena tengok daripada 2017 sehingga Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019 sehingga Godzilla vs Kong 2024. So kalau ada season 2, that is the chunk of time yang aku nak tengok. And then GXK ni kita tak tahu berapa tahun selepas Godzilla vs Kong. 5 tahun, setahun, 2 tahun, kita tak tahu. So it could be beyond 2025, 2030. We'll have to wait and see. But it's interesting yang ada siri TV yang cuba cover kelopongan filem-filem ni. Sekarang aku. Seterusnya Cycles Rules bertanya sebab okay. Thank you bro. Kau marathon pesan join kita orang. Bilakah Keiko dan Randa berkahwin? Mereka dah berkahwin sejak episod pertama, babak pertama kita jumpa dia orang on the way ke Kazakhstan. Kan dia dah pakai cincin, lepas tu Lee kat belakang just coding tengok dia orang cinta macam sedih, macam bengong kan. So dia dah kahwin sejak episod pertama. Aku rasa dah cerita pasal Hiroshi kat rumah and shit like that. So korang nak sambung, betul ke? Before Kazakhstan, right? Or since episode 1, right?
Aku rasa it's one of the early episodes lah. Aku pun tak ingat sangat. Sebab the early episodes so dah start to merge dalam memori aku. Dia dah jadi one big narrative kan. So aku tak boleh pinpoint where's the cut off point. Tapi yalah, it was in the earlier episodes dah established lah. And in fact, I'm glad they didn't make a big, they could easily just waste time, waste half an episode tunjuk dia berkahwin and jealous apa semua. So they didn't drag it to that because they still remember this is a monster show, this is a sci-fi show kan. So I'm actually glad yang dia tak make a big deal out of it. But dia punya downside sedikit tu is tu lah. Kadang-kadang memang orang kan macam bila ni kan, kau time dia tunjuk cincin tu, kau pergi isi air kejap ke apa, memang tak tahulah benda tu jadi.
That's the beauty of the original trilogy. Pasal the first time you met them, they are on the way to Kazakhstan. They have been friends for at least 10 years. And then dalam the same episode, dia ada flashback kepada Philippines. The first time they met. So dia macam energy pelakon-pelakon tu, kau kena berlakon, hari ni aku dah kahwin 10 tahun ke hadapan. Lepas tu the next scene, kita sekarang dekat Philippines, first time berjumpa. So dia macam chemistry 3 pelakon tu macam mind blowing bro. Bila macam mana kau boleh dengan kau punya cara kau tengok Keiko, cara kau yang ni aku dah kenal kau 10 tahun. And then the next one, aku baru kenal kau, aku baru jumpa kau. So dia macam wow, macam
dia pergi team building kot. Sebelum shooting tu ada team building kot.
And then masa the 50s yang masa dia menari Lee Shaw dengan Keiko tu pula macam ada sexual tension. So kau macam
stress
every
bro.
fucking episode you bring it you bring it in your acting, you bring it in cara kau tengok Keiko. Fuck lah. Terbaik lah lakonan.
Kesian Lee, aku tak boleh lah.
Ya, memang kesian Lee. Alright, seterusnya Psychozus bertanya, ni kita nak ajak Jamal bedah pendekar awak ke? Tak payahlah, kita bedah dekat mamak tu dah tak payah. Aku tak nak buat 3 jam pasal pendekar awang. Nanti nak kena lawan dengan pendekar-pendekar moden kita ni yang nak sangkal semua benda kita kata. Tak payahlah. Kita buat sarkastik punya shot tu pun dah cukup dah. Tak payah. Jamal, ada apa-apa kau nak sambung?
Aku setuju. In all seriousness, aku rasa cerita tu rangka dia elok. Premis dia okey. Cuma penulisan tu kurang. Jadi bila penulisan tu kurang dan kau akan bergantung sangat kepada director yang nak kena direct lakonan, nak kena fikir shots dan sebagainya untuk menyulam cerita tu. Padahal sebenarnya writing team yang akan buat benda tu untuk dia, yang akan realisasikan vision dia, wawasan dia untuk filem ni atas kertas, bagi pelakon-pelakon hafal skrip, and then masa diorang berlakon dalam shooting tu baru dia direct dan betulkan. Tapi kerana aku rasa yang macam penulisan dia tak cukup, director kena buat kerja lebih. Jadi kalau kau tengok dari segi babak kalau kita buang semua dialog cerita tu, dari segi babak je, means apa yang berlaku, lepas tu apa yang berlaku, adegan sampai ending, as a story it's fine, it works, tak ada masalah. Tapi bila kau tengok cerita tu dan kau start dengar dialog dia, ada banyak inconsistency, ada perkataan gula-gula dia guna time tu. Of course kita tak tahu zaman tu pakai ke expression gula-gula. Tapi ini dalam babak within the first 5 minutes. Kita dah kena dia orang dah kena gula-gula dengan penjajah atau dengan British. Macam faham tak? Jadi benda-benda macam tu tak terjaga. Itu tak ambil kira benda-benda faktor-faktor lain atau benda-benda lain lagi lah. Jadi memang senang lah kalau kita nak kutuk-kutuk, nak kecam ke apa ke. Tapi kadang-kala kecaman atau kritikan tu atau kutukan tu datang daripada macam kau dah tengok cerita tu macam, you know what? Kalau korang ada lagi extra 2 minggu, cerita ni okey kot. Kalau korang spend lagi extra sebulan tulis cerita, tulis skrip dengan flash it out, jadi best kot. Tapi kenapa? Because benda-benda tu kita dah ambil, take for granted. Kita tengok filem dari Korea, tengok filem daripada US, tengok filem Oscar, macam-macam kat Netflix tu. So, kita tak boleh marah kalau penonton yang sudah membina cita rasa dia kerana teknologi, Netflix, internet semua ni, dia rasa macam cerita ni macam cerita tu, tapi baik aku tengok cerita tu, kenapa dia buat cerita ni? Faham tak? Sebab korang semua dah tengok macam-macam benda, dah ada macam-macam pengaruh, dah ada macam-macam pemahaman, dah ada macam-macam pendedahan. Jadi bila kita tengok filem tempatan yang ada bajet besar ditulis dan ni 3 kali. Lepas tu macam korang dah ada so much money and so much time, macam ni je. Of course lah kita akan speculate, ni mesti ada something happen behind the scenes. Tapi jadi marah jadi geram Tapi kan kalau cakap banyak-banyak kan orang kecam kan. Tapi ingat, fikir diri sendiri balik lah. Kita tak ada masa nak tengok cerita yang tak best. So kalau kita gagah juga tengok, ada sebab lain lah. Kita nak sokong sebab filem tempatan ke, atau macam mungkin watak tu gajah tu best ke, benda tu penting untuk sejarah ke, niat nak buat cerita ni elok ke. Jadi kita tengoklah juga. Kalau tidak macam aku tak, as much as I love MCU, aku tak tengok Marvel sekarang. Peduli apa. Review rasa tak best, aku pun tak terasa nak tengok. Baik aku pergi tengok Marvel daripada aku tengok Pandai Kawang. Faham tak? So of course lah, bila buat review tu rasa macam tak best. Dialah baru keluar filem kot, panas lagi kot. Ada ke CD macam ni? Tembak Gatling gun, lepas tu block Gatling gun macam tu. Faham tak? Tapi kalau kita nak objektif, if you remove the dialogue, ni personal opinion, aku tak tahu kau fikir apa. Adegan by adegan, aku rasa rangka tu dah ada. So if the dialogues were better, and some of the adegan scenes tu kita bawa keluar, sebab nak bagi jadi lagi clean, okay. You ada ayat yang macam contoh untuk I sebagai seorang yang menulis, ayat seorang watak cakap dekat anak dia sebelum dia meninggal. Dia cakap kat anak dia, jangan cakap kat Tuhan masalah aku besar. Cakap kat masalah Tuhan aku maha besar. So, kita sebagai orang Melayu yang nak pergi tengok filem watak Melayu, cerita Melayu, sejarah Melayu dan sebagainya, bila kita nak line-line besar macam ni, line-line hebat macam ni, bahasa dia kena puitis. Bahasa dia mungkin bahasa klasik ke apa benda ke, mungkin penuh dengan metafora. Okay? Jangan jadi bunga yang terbang atau daun yang terbang, jadilah bunga yang berkibar. Macam mana itulah, lebih kurang macam itulah. Jadi bila you dengar ayat tadi tu, jangan cakap kat Tuhan masalah aku besar, cakap kat masalah Tuhan aku besar. Sebab saya sebagai seorang yang menulis dalam 3 bahasa, Mandarin, English dengan BM, this line is an English line. The idea of that line is from English, is driven by English. Because in English, don't tell God about how big my problems are. Tell my problem that my God is bigger than you. Faham tak? It feels like an English line, tapi sebab idea tu English, kita translate ke bahasa Melayu, terjemahan tu pula bulat-bulat. You tak colloquial kan? Janganlah, jangan fikir yang masalah kita ni besar. Tuhan kita lagi besar daripada semua-semua ni. Kalau line tu macam tu, rasalah sikit macam I can imagine a Malay saying that. Nampak tak? So ni adalah contoh-contoh kecil lah. Tu yang jadi geram tu. Tetapi kalau orang penonton tak pandang benda-benda ni, tak kisah benda-benda ni, they might enjoy the film, then sure, okay. Elok lah. Kan dia dapat berapa juta tu. Daripada kita pun tak nak dia buat cerita macam ni, kita kecam-kecam, lepas tu sungguh dapat 340,000 je. Tak ke sedih? So elok lah juga dia dapat berapa juta. Meaning seteruk-teruk orang yang tak suka cerita tu, ada ramai je orang yang kata okey lah, pada aku benda ni okey. Alright lah tu. Kan? Okey lah. Kami terima review ni seadanya. Tak, this is how I feel, because bila you berkecimpung dalam industri seni, you kena respect seorang karya seseorang. Bila you marah, itu you dengan cita rasa you sendiri. Tapi you tak boleh merendahkan diorang sehingga tahap kata, sehingga you sendiri lupa yang diorang pergi syuting, tidur pukul 3 pagi, itu you tak boleh buang. Sebab tu kalau bila yang tu pun jarang-jarang I buat review macam tu. It's just in the spirit, because I recognize at the end of the day it's still work, it's still hard. Faham tak? So adalah banyak lagi faktor-faktor lain yang mempengaruhi filem tu jadi macam tu. I tak nak ambil tahulah. Dia kena macam tu. Too bad lah.
Betul. Basically too long didn't read. Studio Kembara, sila call Jamal untuk tulis skrip di zaman depan. Okay?
Monyet. Jangan percaya review aku botak. Dia kalau review orang-orang botak ni tak boleh percaya sangat.
Ada Jamal kena troll dekat TikTok. Orang-orang botak ni kita tak boleh percaya dia.
Tapi saya ada rambut.
Alright. Seterusnya. Nasi goreng bertanya, Monsterverse ni dari Warner Bros kan? Kenapa siri ni keluar kat Apple TV Plus, bukan Max, HBO? Okey, jawapan dia simple. Hak cipta untuk Monsterverse bukanlah dipegang oleh Warner Bros, tetapi dipegang oleh Legendary Pictures, sebuah production house di Hollywood. Mereka hanya menggunakan Warner Bros dan juga Apple TV Plus sebagai pengedar. Itu saja. So Legendary Pictures is free to bekerjasama dengan siapa pun. They even work with Netflix untuk buat siri animasi Skull Island. So mereka hanyalah pengedar, macam penjual, macam 7-Eleven ke CU ke
Vendor.
Famima ke. Mereka hanyalah vendor supaya kau dapat minum ataupun makan barang-barang diorang. At the end of the day, hak cipta untuk Monsterverse masih dipegang oleh Legendary Pictures. Alright, seterusnya kita hanya ada 9 lagi soalan. Fat Keep It Low-Key bertanya untuk Munif, bila dalam Godzilla vs Kong, when they travel the Hollow Earth, they didn't time travel, tetapi dalam they go to Hollow Earth, looks like they suffer sort of travel. Oh, jawapan dia simple, kerana axis mundi bukanlah Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth is a pocket dimension. Axis mundi is
the door to the pocket dimension.
Traffic light is the traffic light.
Traffic light
junction.
boleh. Yes.
It's the junction kepada dunia Pacific Rim, dunia Ultraman.
Dah start.
Megazord.
Do not give us hope.
Megazord.
Do not give us
Kepada
hope.
MCU. Kepada MCU, maybe nanti Uatu the Watcher pun boleh tengok. Ini apa ni?
So memang kau memang kena keep it clear lah. Sebab bila kau move forward to the next movie kan, kalau kau tak familiarize dengan konsep lagi, takut nanti kau akan lagi keliru bila tengok the next movie. So yes, the concept axis mandi tu basically kau ada kau punya surface world, or basically our bumi lah sebenarnya. So the axis mandi tu is the macam, okay, the space-time distortion tu is the highway, and then the axis mandi tu is the arena on that highway tu, macam persinggahan di antara dia. And then at the other end of that highway tu, kau akan sampai to that pocket dimension yang kita panggil Hollow Earth tu. So structure dia macam tu. So kenapa macam movie ni nampak macam begini, nampak begitu, is because ada yang dalam series ni pergi ke axis mandi, and dalam movie saya kau tengok dia directly pergi ke Hollow Earth. That's why it's nampak different tu pasal tu.
Yeah.
So
that's why
the TLDR dia adalah geng-geng Monsterverse ni dalam 5 filem dan 1 series, 2 series, dalam 4 filem dan 2 series telah berjaya mencipta satu storytelling device yang ni Axis Mundi untuk menghimpunkan dan menyatukan semua filem-filem dan universe lain. Padahal MCU pakai dekat 20 filem nak buat quantum realm tu. Jadi kat sini kita perlu tanya soalan dengan jujur, MCU atau Monsterverse? Dah tiba masanya memandangkan Phase 4 dengan Phase 5 tak menjadi. Okay? Macam mana Faigi? Macam mana? Gerau. Tiba.
Echo.
Alright, seterusnya Nameless bertanya, ada chance tak Monsterverse bertemu dengan Pacific Rim? Yes bro, yes. Dia akan terjadi. Dua-dua bawah legendary. Yes. Lepas tu korang kena ingat Saban telah dijual. Jadi Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Megazord, tunggu masa je nak bertemu dengan Godzilla guys. Tunggu masa.
Aku takut GXK tu kan. Kau tengok, walaupun Godzilla dah tag team dengan Kong, dia pun kalah ke, tak dapat beat tag team Shimo dengan Skull King kan. Tiba-tiba when all hope is lost, kau dengar
lepas tu Jaeger turun bro. Gypsy Danger turun. Jaeger. Yes. Lepas tu diorang stick kena lempang dengan Shimu. Tiba-tiba ada bunyi tu. Lepas tu Megazord turun bro.
Tapi ni jap. Ni so nak kena ada John Boyega lagi sekali ke macam mana ni?
Aduh bah. Tak ada. Korang kena ingat ni adalah time and space. Kita masih boleh panggil. Kita masih boleh panggil cancelling the apocalypse. Bapak dia boleh datang bro. Boleh datang.
Cok. Memandangkan Munif dah tekan on button. Munif dah kata ni nak bawa John Boyega balik ke tidak ni. Alright. Sebab kita rata-rata, as much as I rewatch Pacific Rim 2 banyak kali, come on. Kita tak payah nak sembang lah. Cerita tu fine. It's a 6.5 out of 10. And that's it, you know. For us, yeah, it's canon. So, tapi macam kalau boleh, kita tak kisah. Kita abaikan. Kan ending cerita tu dia kata, we are coming for you kan. Okay? So, this is my speculation. Diorang set up, buat Jaeger baru, settle, ada upgrades yang gempak. Alright. Cherno Alpha, dia dah jadi Cherno Omega ke, Cherno Beta ke, apa benda ke. Ready turun. Mana portal? Oh yeah, that's the portal. Let's go. Sampai portal, keluar portal, sampai ke Axis Mundi. Turun. Dia macam tu. Lepas tu tiba-tiba, bang! Movement detected 200 meters. North, right. Lepas tu shit. Lepas tu Godzilla fire. Breath. Lepas tu another random 4-legged bat kena fire dengan Godzilla. Lepas tu dia macam, apa benda ni? Ini bukan kaiju
kawan.
yang that's it.
Tapi Nick tadi cakap kau nak Idris Elba tu datang balik kan. Instead of Boyega kan. Kalau kau fikir balik, since kita cakap saya Axis Mundi ni, kan macam aku cerita tadi, is connected by the space-time punya stream tu kan. And then the high radiation from the kaiju yang boleh break apart that time stream tu, barulah orang boleh transverse through. Kalau kau tengok at the end of Pacific Rim yang first kan, bila mereka did the sacrifice, is where they blew themselves up pasal that gypsy danger tu is powered by nuclear,
Yeah.
which has the same radiation as Godzilla. So masa dia sacrifice tu, tantah because they were close to the reef, mereka cause a nuclear explosion pula. Tantah mereka memang kena masuk lah Axis Mundi.
Yes bro.
It's the same energy needed untuk buka the Axis Mundi.
Your mad fraction, if you are out there on the internet, right?
Yes.
On your TikToking axis, you know what? And you see BPTV, you see these three faces, bro. We've got some ideas. We're just saying, all right. We are just a call away. Tarik, bro. Come on us.
Yeah man.
Right?
I just want that tune bro. That's it bro. That's it. Lepas tu kau tengok kiri, kau macam yeah.
Okay. Aku macam Nick tapi aku tukar sikit. Aku tenenenen Godzilla punya.
Yeah.
Betul. Yeah. Yes, kita tunggu itu saja. And then ada lagu lagi, Go Power Rangers.
Dia tak habis lagi.
Axis Mundi bro, anything is possible bro.
Give me a scene. Gypsy danger, gypsy whatever macam tu. Power Rangers kat depan macam tu. Ultraman kat sebelah macam tu. Betul Godzilla tengah duduk kat campfire macam tu. Dengan tangan macam tu. Tak boleh nak sembang juga. Okey, sembang sekarang. Sembang tu. Aku tunggu je.
Kalah bro, Infinity War akan kalah. Endgame akan kalah.
Bro, tak, dia macam Avengers Assemble bang. Macam Kaiju datang. Macam segala apa, Flashman, Ultraman, apa man semua ada kat belakang.
Semua kau boleh panggil. Yeah. Even
at that point in time
like
kita Gundam je.
Gaban bro. Kau boleh call Gaban.
Gaban tak masuk.
Yeah.
Gundam. Kena ada. Bila kau dah ada kaiju, kau kena ada mecha.
Yes. And of course the original one, Voltron. Tetene.
Lama dah dengar nama.
Alright. Alright, dah masuk air dah ni. Soalan seterusnya adalah apakah malapetaka yang bakal berlaku dengan Apex versus Monarch?
LGBTQ.
Aku rasa kita akan tengok Apex di bawah Keiko Miura. I think that's something, dan Hiroshi Randa. I think that is something I want to see. Apex di bawah
dia merajuk dengan Monarch sebab Monarch reject dia.
Yes. Team pun dah masuk Apex bro.
Betul lah.
Ni tak boleh weh. Ni macam player Manchester United pergi Manchester City. Tak boleh bro.
Tapi aku rasa kau cakap saya malapetaka tu kan. Macam aku speculate lah. What I think will happen based on what we know is that macam kata lah daripada 99 Monarch sorok the fact yang ada motor. 91 dia sorok the fact ada rodan. And then subsequently itulah a year before series Monarch ni habis, dia orang dah jumpa and senyap pasal Ghidorah and Mothra and everything. 2019, 2 years daripada Monarch ni ending ni, it all blow up in their face bila Ghidorah was released and mengamuk. So benda tu lah aku rasa sebab tu Apex, and we know all these characters, our main characters dalam series Monarch yang sekarang berkelana di Apex ni, mereka semua ada shared trauma macam to a certain extent, a bunch of them because of G-Day tau. And either trauma say G-Day atau mereka takut pasal G-Day will repeat. These are the guys yang dekat Apex tau sekarang. And then King of Monsters jadi, and then it's because Monarch was hiding all this information. So aku rasa very very naturally itu reason dia akan develop Mechagodzilla tu. Maybe it was intended well at first, but then anak Serizawa tu pasal personal grudge dengan bapak tu, tak macam kau obses sangat dengan Godzilla ni kan. Ni basically ni lagi anak kau pada aku kan. Kau tunggu aku frame dia tu, aku bunuh dia. Itu yang hilang kawalan.
Jadi tunggu tu.
Aku rasa tu dia punya flashpoint dia. Pasal all the secrets blew up dalam King of Monsters, which is 2 years after Monarch ni ending.
Yeah. So tak sabar nak tengok Monarch season 2 dan nak tengok GXK. Alright, last 6 questions. Seterusnya soalan untuk Jamal ya. Kalau sequel is coming, do you think season 2 should be a Skull Island focus atau build stories around King of Monsters atau boleh gaduh dengan Ultraman? I think it should cover 2017 to 2020 whatever. It should cover right up to King of the Monsters. It should cover GVK and it should cover GXK. So dia akan jadi penyapu sampah balik.
Okay, aku rasa soalan Fah ni, aku tak nak guna season 2 to be a Skull Island focus or build stories around King of Monsters. Aku suka dua-dua tu. I would say a separate series on either of those. Season 2, it's basically Monarch is about Monarch lah. So you know what? I have a better title for season 2, Munif. You said Apex, lepas tu apa?
Future of Monsters.
Future of Monsters, and then aku cakap tadi Maker of Worlds kan, aku tukar. Season 2 is Monarch, Apex of Power. Sebab aku rasa the series of Monarch, kita devote to Monarch dengan apa-apa dynamic yang ada berkisar tentang Monarch. Tetapi the Skull Island focus atau build around the King of Monsters are great premises for series of their own. So kita tak payah gunakan Monarch nak cerita-cerita ni. Faham tak? So it should be like Skull Island would be maybe about the tribes people yang first discovered Kong, and then how that macam contoh ada kita ambil macam dalam Skull Island punya filem lah. The story from the point of view of a US or a Japanese warship yang macam tersesat sampai kat Skull Island. So now they had to figure out, and then fast forward in Kong Skull Island, that ship yang dia nampak bangkai kapal tu is that ship dalam series ni. Then it will be pretty cool. Kalau stories around King of Monsters pun style juga, meaning the first person who discovered Godzilla existed and went around looking for a scientist ke, a geologist, apa-apa yang you know yang tahu sikit sebanyak pasal ni. That could be nice. Tapi season 2 we leave it to be a Monarch's Apex Kaiju punya bonanza lah. I think the story that established kat situ, I think we all like it for that. So let's keep it at that.
Ni kalau aku punya speculation pula about this question pasal season 2 is like this. I'll continue sikit apa aku cakap sebelum ni. Okay, I believe it will be Apex focus, tu speculation aku. Tapi aku rasa dia akan tie as we go on, dia akan tie in into King of the Monsters sebab tu akan jadi flashpoint dia orang untuk cipta Mechagodzilla. So how that happens is that aku rasa macam aku cakap tadi, Monarch has been hiding the fact yang dia dah jumpa all these powerful kaiju, so, tapi tak cakap apa. Sebab macam Nick cakap tadi, nak maintain status quo, tak nak bagi orang panik, whatever, kita je tahu information ni, so screw you guys. So dia pun peram the secrets kan. Okay, so bila kita tengok macam future movie macam Godzilla vs Kong, what do we know? Kalau in relation to the Monarch new series, we know Monarch ended with Apex having a base dekat Skull Island. But kalau kau tengok Godzilla vs Kong, it started with they established yang pulau tu was destroyed in a storm, Apex is nowhere to be found, and then ada Monarch punya base instead duk pantau Kong. Betul tak? And then what did we saw in King of Monsters is that Ghidorah caused a global crisis. They panic and takutkan and made violent all the kaijus around the world. And sebab dia punya power, so he disrupted the storm patterns all over the world. And kita tahu Skull Island remain protected for so long because dia punya own localized storm punya barrier. Aku rasa what happened was that dah lah Monarch duk sorok info about the existence of all these kaijus, especially Ghidorah. When Ghidorah keluar, King of Monsters jadi, it blew up in their face, and because Ghidorah punya release and the disruption of weather patterns, so it destroyed the Apex base, it destroyed all the inhabitants yang manusia-manusia dekat Skull Island. So that is probably the slap in the face yang sebenarnya kita kan maybe tengok Apex season 2 as the good guys. And kita in fact akan sokong mereka kenapa mereka nak buat Mecha Godzilla apa semua ni. But eventually we know it will take a bad turn bila Serizawa takes control of the program and it became something else. Aku rasa kita akan be sympathetic towards the creation of Mecha Godzilla. So kita pun akan geram tengok the Apex facility tu nanti musnah and memang Monarch jahat tak bagi tahu about all these kaiju semua. I think that's a dilemma. So even in season 1 pun dia dah main with this duality tau. Macam even itu Monarch ni, dalam Monarch tu ada geng yang baik, ada geng yang jahat, ada yang ideologi macam ni, ada ideologi macam tu. So they've always played with this grey area. Dia bukan Apex baik, Monarch jahat, Apex baik. Basically individuals running the organizations at that point of time, and sometimes simultaneously ada assholes and humane people. So I think season 2 macam tu, dia akan connectkan King of Monsters and the development or elaboration of Apex. So benda tu yang akan lead to the conflict in Godzilla vs Kong. Tu pendapat aku.
Nice. And aku rasa at the same time Munif dah menjawab the next two questions. Ahmad Salim bertanya, so sekarang Apex punya bos besar dah mari dalam Godzilla vs Kong. Lepas ni kalau ada Monarch season 2, mungkin Apex under kepimpinan baru yang lebih baik. Maybe seperti dia explain
Yalah,
oleh
maybe buah Keiko ke macam Nick cakap tadi.
Maybe bawa Keiko atau Hiroshi Randa. And then Cyclus pun tanya juga, so final ending tu Apex berkampung dekat Skull Island kan? Lepas tu Hiroshi tengok tape ayah dia. Yes. Tapi seperti kita dah tengok dalam King of the Monsters, markas tu jadi markas Monarch. So apa jadi
markas Monarch? What happened?
What happened?
So this is another sorry Nick, tapi macam another thing aku nak tambah rasa, this is another one of the orang kata weak plot points about Godzilla vs Kong dulu. So, orang semua kata macam Jamal, ramai orang, even aku suka gila Skull Island, and then start Godzilla vs Kong, all these guys mati in some kind of storm. Tu benda kau cakap kan. So this could be this whole big history as to what actually happened now. Tapi before that kita pun tak tahu ada Apex itu. So sebenarnya banyak benda jadi that led to that ending where semua orang kat pulau tu dah mati and there's a Monarch base there. I think season 2 will show that. Again, things yang akan gel the movies together and make each movie better. If they continue this trend lah with the way they approach the TV tie-ins.
Yeah, hopefully. Dia dapat menjawab banyak persoalan fans antara movie. Alright, seterusnya Ahmad Salim bertanya, harapan korang nak Gojira and Kong ni crossover dengan franchise Kaiju yang mana? Kita dah cerita tadi, kita nak Pacific Rim, Voltron, kita nak Ultraman, kita nak
Tu
Flashman.
kau, tak ada. Aku dapat Pacific Rim, aku dah happy. Aku dapat Pacific Rim,
Pacific Rim pun dah happy dah. Betul?
happy dah. Alright.
Aku nak tengok Ultraman Reboot, Ultraman Taufan yang Malaysia.
Reboot.
Aku nak tengok dia pakai silat cekak lawan Gojira, bro. Dia ikat macam ni lah. Ambil.
Cekak, babi. Weh, aku pergi belajar silat cekak lah dulu. Ultraman tak boleh pakai silat cekak. Silat cekak diri je. Ultraman lawan.
Okay.
Satgi jadi perjuangan lagi.
Kehidupan.
Menumpaskan Jepun. Alright, seterusnya aku bertanya, apakah antagonis yang akan muncul pada season 2 nanti? Adakah monster daripada original series from the 90s or new kaiju? Hopefully anak Mad Fraction akan melukis lagi banyak kaiju baru.
Aku tak rasa Toho punya monsters lah, sebab dia kalau dia pakai, okay, satu ikut trend lah. We've seen the Hollywood adaptations yang betul-betul ikonik je dia pakai for the big movies and the big fights tau. Yang selebih-lebihnya tie-in ni semua, and even animated tu pun dia just pakai originally created kaiju tau. So I'm assuming sebab banyak Toho yang monsters tu pun macam Gigan lah, Destroyer apa semua tu, dia maybe will come with his own sets of premiums lah dengan royalty yang nak kena bayar kan. So maybe bertambah mahal tu. So as of now, they probably untuk TV series, they can be comfortable with making their own original kaiju. So which tak ada problem pun if it's designed well. So aku actually quite suka dia Iron Dragon tu. Walaupun dia kecil, tapi dia agile, surprise attack. Lepas tu dia pun ada dia punya gunk punya shot, dia kacau Godzilla sikit. Lepas tu dia boleh tank the atomic breath kejap. So walaupun fight tu kejap, but he did things lah. It was a scrap. So dalam kenangan, but good job for putting up a fight sikit, Iron Dragon. But kalau more original kaiju macam tu, tak ada problem pun. Simpan the iconic ones for the movies.
Definitely. The next few questions, kita ada 3 lagi soalan. Tapi Kong masa dekat base Apex tu, Kong yang dah tua. Macam pelik kan. Aku rasa Kong yang dah dewasa dalam GVK. Kan? Pasal dia macam a little bit grey. Dia dah dewasa lah. Daripada Skull Island sampai 2024 dan 50 tahun kot. It's like it makes sense lah. Dia membesar lah.
Tua sikit. Mature.
Dan seterusnya, apakah pendapat panelis tentang siri Gamera dekat Netflix? Ini bukan Toho kan? Ini lain
Bukan. Rival.
Gamera best.
So yang ni aku ingat Jamal cakap, memang aku dan Jamal memang suka lah series ni. And aku tak tahu, were you the same as me? Kita punya favourite kaiju is the Blade Head kan? Yang tu memang
gila weh.
Memang style gila kan?
Dia macam, okay, Chainsaw Man pelik, tapi you get the aesthetic. Sama ada kau suka atau tak, but you get the idea kan? Tapi sekarang ni, this is a kaiju yang melompat, sambil dia melompat, dia somersault dan dia melibas. Dan mulut dia adalah 2 berbilah pisau yang besar macam tu. Tutup, dia ada pisau je. Tapi bila dia buka, wah, lepas tu jadi pisau tu, dia jadi 2. So macam aneh gila kau. Tapi macam
kaiju design dia TikTok lah.
Kena potong. Dah lah, Gamera tu turtle. Dia turtle. Okay, dia turtle.
Boleh terbang.
Dia boleh terbang. Dia adalah turtle. Sekejap. Apa nama game tu?
Beyblade.
Dia adalah turtle Beyblade. Kau faham tak benda tu? Lucu. Tapi macam dah kartun. Tengok je lah. Tu macam, weh, babi kuat je Beyblade ni.
Best. Lepas tu dia brutal lah. Dia putu-putu tangan lah apa semua.
Nanti dia nak makan je mana? Kamera best. And the animation is very pretty. I like it a lot. Animation dia cantik sangat. I mean, that is the aesthetic lah. Kalau kau tak suka style yang macam tu, too bad lah. Tapi cantik lah. Elok lah dia buat.
Ni aku nak shout out lah. Just nak recommend one series yang aku tengok, which is sangat underrated and tak ramai tahu sebenarnya ni. But kalau korang suka monster-monster macam ni, and even bonus kalau kau minat Pokemon juga kan, tapi tapi adult version, kau tengok My Demon. Yang tu memang sangat underrated tapi best gila series. Beautifully animated, sangat violent tapi Pokemon tau. Kau bayang Pokemon tapi sangat ganas. That is my Demon. Memang best gila. Kau suka monster-monster ni, kau layan cerita ni, aku guarantee kau akan suka.
Macam mana nak eja pasal dekat Netflix ada K-drama My Demon.
Dia macam
lain.
DAE je tak silap aku.
My Demon.
My Demon. Okay, cool.
Best gila.
Alright. Semoga korang tonton siri tu. Dan soalan terakhir untuk malam ini adalah daripada Wan Faris. Soalan menyimpang. Tira dekat Disney Plus, panelis akan layan tak? Pasal itu adalah Bumi Langit Cinematic Universe. Pengarah Godam dan Tira merupakan pengarah Malaysia. Zahir Omar, Fly By Night. Jawapan ni simple lah. Kalau diorang tak kisah nak tunjuk Seri Asih kat Malaysia, diorang tak kisah nak bawa filem Virgo kat Malaysia, buat apa kita nak layan siri TV Tira dia? Ke macam lopong gila kot. Kau tengok Gundala, lepas tu kau miss lagi 2 filem, tiba kau nak lompat ke siri TV yang keempat. Tak ada makna bro. Buat apa nak support barang yang tak support kita? Fuck off lah. Malas.
Kau bayangkan macam kau tengah tunggu wayang kat Malaysia. So macam okay, mula-mula ada Captain America, nice. Lepas tu Iron Man tak keluar, Thor tak keluar, Doctor Strange tak keluar. Dia suruh kau layan Echo lah kat TV series. Macam apa benda tengah berlaku ni.
That Echo became the victim. Echo mangsa terkini
Tak tengok lah. Banyak orang suruh aku tengok. Tengoklah dekat Disney Plus Malaysia. Apa aku nak tengok? Seri Asih pun kau tak bawa masuk. Virgo pun kau tak bawa masuk. Barang tu semua ada dekat Disney Plus Indonesia. Apa hal kau tak boleh tunjuk kat Disney Plus Hotstar Malaysia? Susah sangat ke antara Malaysia dengan Indonesia tu? Kau link je lah babi. Dah ada dekat Disney Plus Hotstar Indonesia.
Kita duk hype series ni kot sebelum ni. To be fair, Nick diterajui dari Nick, and kita orang semua banyak duk bedah trailer, duk review. Kita hype for your universe.
Nick siap pergi Jakarta lagi kot.
Itulah kan.
Lepas tu jadi macam ni. Aku pun kurang faham lah. Macam tak suka duit kot. Entahlah.
Masa tu kat Jakarta kau dah cakap apa-apa?
Aku macam Gundala best. Aku dah happy dengan Gundala. And I can't wait for Seri Asih. Ada Pevita Pierce tapi dia tak bawa masuk. Aku
tahu tak apa Pevita Pierce.
There it is. Sepanjang-panjang tu tak petik nama seorang pelakon perempuan pun petik juga.
Dia tak ada excuse. Okay, kalau kau tak nak tunjuk dekat sinema, kau tunjuk je lah dekat Disney Plus Hotstar. Apa masalah?
Weird, very weird.
It's a right distribution issue that they refuse to acknowledge for 2 movies. Sekarang siri kau baru kau nak acknowledge. Tak payah, tak ada masa lah orang nak tengok. Kalau kau tak nak support kita orang tak nak support kau. It's as simple as that. Alright guys, so dengan itu berakhirlah sesi epic kita 3 jam 30 minit.
Tapi ni cuk.
Monarch. Ya, silakan.
Kau kena support diorang. Sekiranya diorang melawan Singapura bila Singapura claim makanan. Sebab kalau Singapura serang kita dan Singapura claim makanan dan serang kita, confirm diorang akan support kita. So apa-apa hal pun kita kena support masing-masing menentang Singapura. Okey, sambung. Sekian, terima kasih.
Sempat lagi.
Singapura
tak ada cinematic universe lagi, tak apa. Aku tak nak tengok Merlion Man tak apa.
Weh, buruk.
Alright guys, so terima kasih kepada para panelis kita, Munif, Malek, Kaki, Kaiju dan Jamal Raslan. Thank you guys. Terima kasih juga kepada mereka yang sudi menonton selama 3 jam 30 minit. 16 korang memang loyal lah.
Thank you guys.
Selamat tidur. Esok ialah public holiday. Enjoy Taipusan. Itu saja. Join us esok di mana aku dan Brothers Ali bakal kencing dan AJ Rebel Moon oleh Zack Snyder. Majulah fandom untuk negara. Bye guys.